Everybody ready? I'm having problems with a couple of hot dogs, so I don't...
You're live.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are coming to you live. The CBA Masters tournament live from Southtown Bowl in Bloomington, Minnesota. What you're watching right now is the first round of our match play. We had 69 bowlers. Oh, by the way, with me is Jason Hansen, our tournament director, and I am Tom Corbett. We had 69 bowlers today, bowling 8 games of qualifying on some really tough pattern that a lot of us didn't do very well.
Yeah, junior gold pattern that beat up all the adults and the juniors alike today.
It really did, but there's a couple of young guys, more than a couple, that actually made the cut. And I'm just looking at these, like Brandon Cryer, Zach Andreessen, Thomas Cleveland, William Jones, even Jake Green, Josh Kennedy, Jace King, Boyavero. Those are young guys who made the cut here.
They are.
And then also there are 3 seniors, but they're all young seniors. If you know what that means, they're like 51-ish.
Right. Fresh seniors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be Chad Nelson, Rob Clements, and David Langer.
Yeah. And Chad and Rob right in front of us in match 1. So Rob is the 6th seed. Chad is the 11th seed. This is a single game double elimination format, and it is a typical bracket seeding. So the number 1 seed faces the 16, 2 versus 15, and so on. We got them spread out pretty well. We got a pair in between, so they're able to just kind of continue to go.
It'll save the oil on the lanes, even though there was plenty of oil on the lanes.
Well, there was. Yeah, I mean, this is a place that usually hooks a fair amount, and so I tried to find something that maybe wasn't short, because we have that, a few times in the Masters events here. So something that was a little longer, so it didn't just favor the short gutter players. And then a little volume, too, to just make it hold up, because historically this event has gone late into the evening.
Correct.
And we wanted to just speed it up a little bit. And so we chose not to re-oil, so I wanted a pattern that would hold up.
And especially here, we actually there's 48 lanes in this bowling center here at Southtown. And so we used 46 of those lanes today. So
we did.
We just didn't use 1 and 2. So we had 3 per pair. So the qualifying took just under 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was fairly fast, but you weren't like running up there, because you still kind of took it up. But it was quick. I can tell you what made it faster. With the worse I bowled, the faster it kind of seemed like it went for me. So I actually had to kind of sit back and just like think a little bit about it. And I didn't bowl very well, but it also didn't really too much oil, basically, for me. I can say that.
Sure.
I was watching these guys play in, getting the ball to recover. I'd get it out to that point, and it wouldn't recover.
Wouldn't.
And then if I tried to square up a little bit, it would hook early, because so I was all over the place. I wasn't bowling well to start with either. I also talked to like Dave Ullman and a couple other people. If we had to do it over, we would all start it further right.
Sure.
Thinking this pattern with the 43 feet, you should have been in with break point around 10, but I guess it doesn't matter how you get there.
No, and I guess I mean, touched on it a little bit when I said we've had some short patterns, and it certainly favored a certain type of player. That's why I sought out something a little bit longer, but that also means here I think the gutter is almost always in play.
It's
just
right.
Like up at Southway, the track area has got so much wear. It's kind of always in play no matter what we put out. Anyways, I think I could see that. I saw some people that tried to play out though too, and it didn't look so hot either. So I think you had to be pretty good no matter where you were.
So when I started, you really don't ever really know where to start. It's not a team event where you try to build up a shot, whatever. So you want to play where you think is right. And then I knew they're going to be tough, so I was trying to stay around somewhere between 10 and 15, get a straight down lane, so I would like hit the pocket, pick up my spares, stay clean. And then, but I had a couple 170s to start with. I thought I was okay with it, open each game, and then it just didn't get any better for me.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, Keo, you've heard of him. He uses this dull blue hammer that he has, and he just rolls it right up the one board, going kind of right to left, and it just would roll right up to the pocket, and he struck a lot. Well, he was 202 over to lead qualifying, until it tells you the difference. 16th to make the cut was 50 under, so he beat that guy by 250 pins.
Yeah.
And that's just the top 16.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he only beat me by 391, but that's all.
Yeah, cashing by 284 pins.
Yeah, right. So he dominated.
He had a look.
Yeah, that he had. And then we had two lefties, as far as Brandon Cryer, who was second, and Jason Craig. And we had three lefties, because we had Bo Uvero also. So we had three lefties make it. We had guys that throw the ball pretty straight. We got guys who could move in and hook it. So we had a little bit of everybody here today.
You had guys that shot 124 and found ways to recover and make it in.
Oh, who's that?
Nick Heilman had 124 game 6, but found himself still at plus 23 and well in the cut.
Wow.
Actually in 7th place, or 7th seed.
Yeah,
Chad.
if you would have told me somebody at 124, I would have never guessed it was him.
Yeah. And Chad and Rob right in front of us actually have as we were talking about, how there were only a few that hit it, they're making it look pretty easy here on 7 and 8.
Well, they bowled all their 8 games, and also we gave everybody 10 minutes of practice on their starting pair. So they should be lined up on the pair. Now, you had mentioned we spread everybody out, so the next match is going to go to a pair that were not the 10 minutes of practice. And we'll see what happens. We'll give them one shot in each lane, but not 10 minutes.
Right.
And Chad was using a couple different urethane balls I saw during practice also. I don't know if he was using it just to see how they rolled, but he's definitely not. What is that ball?
That is a TNT.
TNT, yeah.
Yeah.
And Rob is probably using a phase 2. He is the only guy I know that has a original phase, the phase 1. They didn't call it the phase 1, they just called it a phase.
Yeah, phase.
And he threw it a couple times in shadow balls, and he keeps that in his bag. He uses it in a lot of tournaments. He brings it with him all the time.
So I think that's a reality.
Okay, that could be.
Yeah.
You know what's probably not fair is that Rob gets the hand-me-downs from Chad Nelson, because they both use 16-pound bowling equipment. And
they're dinosaurs.
They are, for sure. So I don't know if it's fair, Chad, giving Rob bowling balls. Does he give him ones that are just not enough to beat him?
Well, not good enough, to quite beat me.
Yeah, see,
that's the thought. Glenn, nice to see you tune in, and definitely, Corby, I'm sure you'll touch on it here throughout the telecast too, but our prayers are definitely with Sam as he enters another round of chemo. He's got some a rough road ahead a little bit, or a bumpy road ahead a little bit, but we definitely, the whole CBA family has
absolutely
got him in our prayers, and he'll get through this.
Those of you who don't know, Sam is in the U of M hospital right now with about a 4 or 5 week round of chemo to basically kind of clean out his whatever. I'm not even sure how to explain it, but then this is to get him prepped for early February to have bone marrow transplant.
Yep.
So that's going to happen in early February, and that takes 100 days from what I understood. Not all 100 days totally in the hospital, but 100 days from start to finish on that. So, and this is his second round of cancer in the last year and a half, and which is really unfortunate that he's got to go through all this, but hope for the best, and he's got a good positive attitude about it.
Well, that's the biggest, I think, personally, I think that's one of the biggest things. I think how you view it internally, and that is a lot about how it's going to go.
Correct.
And I think that's a big thing to have that positive attitude and outlook. I am going to step away for a second. I'm going to post the finishing results of qualifying online. We haven't got that out yet.
Oh, okay.
Then people can kind of see where these seeds are and who's bowling across the center.
I'll try to keep you abreast of, besides just this match that we're watching right here in front of us, where Chad just threw that one really nice, solid, but the one on the right lane was kind of through the nose and he broke up everything. So
There is, if you want, that match is on too. I mean, 11 and 12 is on.
we could slip. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Well, let's watch this match right now because they both seem to be pretty lined up in the pocket. Rob obviously playing a lot straighter than Chad. It's a solid strike there, which I think he's up to 9-pin or something last time on that lane. Over on 3 and 4, Brandon Cryer and Bo Uvero. And looks like that's about even. They both got a double in the first 5 frames, except that Bo just actually had an open. So Brandon's up about 10 pins there. Solid flush strike for Rob, and I'm not sure if he thought that was going to go high. Josh Kennedy is on 11 and 12 bowling against Thomas Cleveland. And looks like Josh has a clean game through 6. And just left a 2-8 in the 7th frame, where Thomas said that was a double, but had a split and an open. So Josh is up by about 20 right there. See what Chad does on this lane after he went high last time. Even though he struck, he's certainly going to throw it better. And then how's that? Throws it a lot better, leaves a 7-10. Bowling, it's just amazing how give and take away. But like I always tell everybody, all the breaks you get, you probably get more breaks than bad luck, but people don't look at it that way. You obviously want to get one on this because you don't want to throw away the 2 pins. Well, so that gives him 213 and a ninth with a max of 243. And Rob still has 258 available. I just heard that ball hit the back of the lane down there, lane 3. That was Brandon Cryer missing a 7-pin. So that gives him 136 in the 7th, where Bo Uvero actually has 68 in the 4th at a double up. So he can take the lead here with his 2 strikes up. Thomas Cleveland got his strike in the 7th. That's a double. And he gets this one here. He's back in the match with Josh Kennedy. And he wants Chad leave almost a 7-9. Luckily, he got the 7 out. See that strike over there at 11? That was Thomas Cleveland for a turkey. He's 6 pins ahead right now. So Chad now he has basically 233 max. And Rob just needs to stay clean to win that game. And Bo split on the right lane. Open, he missed them all. You got 119 in the 7th, a 136 in the 7th for Brandon. How is that a finish for Chad? He goes 7-10, almost 7-9, solid 8. That was, I'm not sure how you adjust off of that stuff. He's a little befuddled. Anyway, 232, good game. It's probably would have won any other match here. Looks like it probably will. Of course, I can't see any more than the 3 matches that are within these first 6 pair of lanes for us. Here's Rob rolling right up about 10. Good shot, carry the 10 out. Didn't even need to carry it, but Josh Kennedy went up and got a double, his 8th and 9th frame. He's got 226 possible. Thomas Cleveland goes up, leaves a 10 pin in the 12th, on lane 12 in the 9th frame. So he picks us up next. He can have us 211, so there's still kind of a match there. Let's see what's going on. Oh, Brandon's getting up on lane 4 in the 8th frame. Rob making that pair look easy, but now this first strike for Thomas forces Josh to get the first, or to stay clean. Second strike can make him get the first strike. So nice game, Rob. 258, 232. Thomas strike there on lane 11. I'm going to change it over, see if we can get closer here. Yeah, let's watch him. It's going on right here. This is a good game. Good match going on. Thomas is just a nice young man, up and coming, been getting better and better every tournament that we bowl. He's going to win something here pretty soon. I don't think he liked that one. I know he didn't, but the 4 pin. So anyway, he forced Josh to spare the 10th frame. .201. And Bo didn't get that strike on, he's up in the 9th frame, so, and Brandon doubled in the 8th and 9th, put a little bit of pressure back on him. So Brandon's going to win that match. Don't know the score yet. Score doesn't really matter. It does in the long run, based on place if you go out in the same round and you take all your 8 games of qualifying plus whatever you do in the match play. Gets you in a different spot because we add all that up on how you average. You could, instead of being 7th, you could be 8th, or if you're, as long as you got more pins than the guy who got out in the same round, it's worth extra 10, 15, 20 bucks sometimes. And also points in our CBA point system for Bowler of the Year. Well, Josh has to pick up this 6 pin and then get 7 pins. You got the 6. I don't want to say it'll be easy for him. Sometimes 7, sometimes needing a strike or 9 is easier to get than 7, because I always said if you need 9, just throw your best shot, leave a dead 10. No, threw his best shot, left a dead 10. Just enough to win. All right, the games are all wrapping up. I don't hear anybody bowling down on the far right end either. No one's going on is 3 and 4. They're almost done. 175 for Bowl. And Brandon just needs to keep it on the lane, which he did. Left an 8 pin. Didn't really need it. Going to have 200. little bit of a lull here. Like I said, waiting for everybody to finish. And everybody's moving around because we're starting on 3 and 4. I'm using every other pair. And I think we're going to be using the pairs in between. I'm not sure. Are we using the other pairs in between?
What's that?
Are we using the pairs in between now?
Yep.
So we need to get all those turned on. They just need to put A and B up there and that'll turn them on?
A and B on the left lane and the red key.
Okay. So
will be set.
Everybody know where they're going?
Yeah, there's 2 matches left to report scores from.
The slow guys on the high end of the house, you mean?
Yep.
I don't want to say Jason Cragen and Kehoe and Matt Payne, but those are the guys coming down this way.
The non-strikers.
So we were using 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 and 11 and 12 and 15, 16, and now we're going to be using 5 and 6, 9 and 10, 13, 14, 17, 18, so on. So every other game will go to opposite pairs that we haven't bowled, so we're not be bowling back-to-back in the same pairs. It'll help the oil stand up a little longer. But like I mentioned, they got 10 minutes of practice on each, on the starting lane, and now they're only going to get 1 shot on each lane. Just enough to make sure they get a decent read, and the higher seeded bowler gets the choice of who's going to start the match. Plus everybody who's I think somebody might be on the wrong pair. Yeah, 1 in each, correct. So it meant everybody gets 1 shot in each lane, and they everybody kind of knows how to correct the score. It's kind of like the old days where you just didn't write it down on a piece of paper. You're watching Nick Heilman and Bo Uvero warming up on 9 and 10. And we talked about Nick, who had like a 124 game 6, still got the 23 over because he finished with 265. So his high of 265 to 124, that's a big difference in the scores. And then Bo, he finished out with 216, 236 to get to 48 under to make the cut by 2 pins. So that was a really good finish. He never gave up, and he told me as I was watching him earlier and talking to him earlier, he just said, yep, I just want to post the shots and I just want to make good shots. You know, if you do that most of the time, you're going to score well. Instead of looking at the result. Some people look at the result, oh, I need 200. Instead of, let's just throw the ball well, the score will take care of itself. Nick playing right off the edge, and when I watched him earlier in qualifying, he was between 3rd and 4th arrow and is doing just fine. So I'll read the scores to you. Keogh beat Jason Cragen 201 to 181. Clayton Moore beat David Langer Jake Green beat Matt Payne. Oh, that score was 224-169. You saw Josh Kennedy beat Thomas Cleveland. Jace King, 224 to Zach Andreessen's 207. And you saw the match in front of us, Rob Clements, 258 over Chad's 232. William Jones with a 269 over Nick Heilman's 234. My guess is William Jones is using a purple hammer, playing right up the ditch there. And Brandon Cryer was over Bo Uvero. So, this is a single game double elimination. Lose 2 games, you're out, obviously. As long as you keep winning, as long as you win, you keep on going. I happen to be watching Clayton Moore over on 11 and 12. He's lofting it out by the gutter. So wants to make sure he gets the ball down the lane. Some of these people have trouble getting it down the lane. I didn't have that trouble. But that was happened to see a shot by Zach Andreessen on lane 6, left right off his hand, almost a going away Brooklyn, but he's struck on it. Ooh. That one didn't quite hook enough for Bo. Leave that bucket. Tough spare when he got multiple pin spares. And Clayton Moore leaving a bucket. 2 buckets out of 3 lanes. Right-handed, left-handed. See Matt Payne crossing over for a strike over there. And Zach making really good use of that crossover into a turkey right in front of Chad Nelson. Easily to chop that bucket just like Bo did, and we'll see what Clayton does. Oh, he almost missed the back pin, but he got it. I think he threw it a little straighter at it, where Bo hooked at it. Part of the reason why whatever you do best on those spares, I don't know the right thing, whether you want to throw a spare ball at it or throw it straight or hook at it, I don't know. Nick starting out with a double. Whoa, Nick almost threw that one in the gutter. Then it came back and almost up to 7-10. Got the 7 out. It's a lucky break all around. It didn't fall in, and he got a chance for a spare. And Keel crossing over for a strike. I guess if you set it down a little short. Now I think I know why Clayton Moore is kind of lofting it to get the ball down the lane. Setting it down kind of short will affect, obviously, the early roll on the ball. So I'm not sure what Chad's using now, but that might be a urethane ball. It didn't pick up the roll enough. That was over on lane 5. You really couldn't see it. Clayton Moore striking over there on lane 12. These lanes are touchy right now. leaving a 6-pin for Bo. Chad picking up the 2-8 over there on lane 5. I want to see what Zach Andreessen does here on lane 6. You'll just see the ball on the left of your screen. But you'll see that's Zach, and that's one where he crossed over in the second frame. Clayton on lane 11, left that 610. That was a lot better by Zach. Solid strike. Took his time, threw it really good. Yeah, I can't. If I can change over to 7 and 8, maybe we can see a couple of matches here. We'll go to 11 and 12. Our pairs are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 as far as where we got the cameras on. And Bull going through the nose on lane 9. Let's watch Kehoe. You can throw this ball right up two board. And that is a really old blue hammer, urethane blue hammer. That baby split on lane 9 is Bo Uveros, so he needs to pick this up to stay within 10 pins. Now he's like 20-some pins down behind Nick Heilman. Kehoe should pick up this 10-pin easily. Oh, kind of a little bit of a backup at it. And no messenger for Nick on lane 10. Well, you're back, Jason. I've been changing back and forth, but trying to get a couple matches here watching. And
I am back.
Talking about, I turned away from, I was watching 5 and 6 a little bit. And it's Zach Andreessen and Chad Nelson. Zach seems to have a lot of room. He had one crossover in that 4-bagger, but and Chad can't. Now he changed to that. Is that an IQ urethane ball that he's using? Is that urethane that one is up in the upper left there?
Yeah, he's got the new 78U. Yeah.
So I thought he was using. So, well, that purple hammer that Zach Andreessen has probably used it a lot. Not that one. Oh, you get a new one. So you've gone to college, now you got a new bowling balls. Okay. Let's see what Chad does here. He's not getting that ball to face up. Really. I think he's afraid to throw it right to left, kind of. And it's not obviously picking up the roll in the back end.
Yeah. Yeah, he needed that to get on path a little sooner.
Correct.
Because the urethane certainly isn't going to give you the down lane, so it needs to be going in that direction faster.
Well, I needed that with my resin stuff, just so you know.
Clayton using a little bit of loft here to try and get it through the front part.
You know, I was just talking about that because he lofted one quite a ways out there, and I didn't realize why he was doing that so much until everybody else sets it down short and looks right away. Which is why Chad went to urethane. Bo not being able to strike very much right here, so Nick is walking away, and then of course Kehoe striking, playing right out off the 2 board. That's why he led it at 220 over, whatever it was. 202 over. Just heard that strike on lane 6. That was Zach Andreessen with the shiny purple hammer, he says, and not the dull purple hammer. Okay.
I'm sure there's a massive difference between them.
It looks like he's throwing that one fairly hard.
Pardon you? It didn't seem right to me.
Let's watch Clayton Moore here. He's going to loft it ball down the lane. And probably about 8 feet on the lane, it seems like he's lofting it. Oh, and that strike you just saw in lane 9, that was Bo Yavero, so he needed that one to have any kind of a chance. Oh, and he missed that single pin. Clayton striking.
Yeah, a little double with that loft.
Yeah. Loft is good. Chad Nelson got one started up early for a strike. Well, Chad can have 230. He needs the last 5 to do that. But Zach could have 270. So ain't over yet, but Zach's throwing the ball pretty well, and he's getting up all the face up really nicely. Good loft by Clayton. Half 10. Really needed that one. As you see, Nick Heilman picking up easy spare. Nick's over on 9 and 10. We're going to switch. I'm going to watch Nick throw here in this next frame. And Chad leaves a solid 9 after he got lined up there. But I want to watch Nick and see how far out he's playing, because everybody is playing out quite a bit out by the ditch, which is where you got to be right now, I believe. Oh, he didn't like that at all. And he snapped a 10 out. That was pretty good. I don't know why he didn't like that, but he knows better than I. It looked like it was on line to me.
These perfectionists, you know.
Well, there is that.
And
he knows he didn't
it's
throw
got to
well.
be
He got
perfect.
away with it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Brent Newman says to get loose.
I have, Brent, I stayed last night, and I had a couple of foggy bottoms that were, they made the travel bags.
Okay.
So I enjoyed them last night in the hotel.
Nice.
But I don't think they have them here.
Andy Mills chimed in and says, every time that Nick hates his shot, he strikes.
I'd hate stuff a lot more.
Yeah, I know. Why does he like so many of them then? You have any details on Nick's 124 game? Yeah, he didn't spare a lot or strike a lot.
Yeah, there were a lot of opens. That's a lot of details.
We could say he got the last 4 for that, but that wouldn't be right. I don't know if he had 4 strikes that game. I'd say not. Hey, Brent Newman. We were talking about Brent Newman. Brent did the stats for the last 2 months. Sent them to me yesterday, so I had to fix them a little.
A little.
I had to fix the spreadsheet a little. He did the stats correctly. I got it. We didn't tell him about how we do the points. 2 extra points for qualifying leader, and you get 7 points for being alternate. So I didn't tell him about that, which I'll discuss. But I got to explain the spreadsheet a little bit more to him, how to add rows.
Yep.
So But
very nice to have somebody
yes.
doing that. I appreciate that. It definitely takes a little time off of a busy schedule that I have. So thanks, Brent. Yeah, Millie, that is how you get to 120, just like that.
All I know is I didn't have any 120 games. I didn't have any games below 150.
I didn't have any games.
I didn't have any games over 179 until game 8, and I had 220.
So that was a little too far left to see, but Chad definitely got that one kind of pointed the right way. That one shaped and looked really, really good. I didn't see what the single pin was there in the 8th for him, but
I believe it was an 8 or a 9 pin.
But yeah, he's in trouble of an early exodus and an early ride home today.
He is, but you know, the thing what he's doing right now though is he's trying a ball that he really hadn't used, and he's just practicing with it. So next time he gets to something like this, he's not just walking away and saying, "Oh, you don't have it." This is going to be in his mental bag for next
He's learning.
time. Absolutely learning.
That's it. He's learning.
I did the same thing. Even though I was out of it, I wasn't going to cash at all.
Yeah, seeing he missed in on that one, or didn't miss in. I think what he did is he moved in a little bit, actually, and then pointed it a little more instead of trying to bump it out. But
Chad doesn't know that if he gets a strike in the 10th frame, he gets an extra shot or two. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's you can't see, but you see the ball going down on lane 10. That'll be Nick Heilman. And, he liked that one.
Yep.
And it wasn't a strike. Andy, I think you got something there.
The good news for Nick is that Jose isn't really pushing him at this point.
Right.
You look at the scoreboard, and it looks like, Nick's kind of been plagued by a single pin here and there in between a bunch of decent shots.
Correct.
But they aren't proving to be overly costly right now.
Hey, I got to tell you a little game by Jace King. Bowling next to him all day. One game, 3 times he left a 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. First frame he got 3 of them, thought he was going to get it. The next time he left it, he picked up the 1-6.
Really?
Yes. So he left a 2-4-10, picked up the 1-6, just at the super washout that Nick just left. And then I had to look at it twice, say, "Do you just pick out the 1-6 out of that?" He goes, "Yeah." And then he left it again 2 frames later and then picked it up. So he was 1 for 3 that game in a super washout. But I've never seen anybody just pick up the 1-6.
Take the 1-6 alone.
Yeah. See, now there's a veteran way to pick it up. You hook
past it.
I don't do that because I'd probably miss one and get 2. So Chad Nelson goes 232, 215, and he's out.
Yep. Zach will be moving on.
6. But that was a loser's bracket match, so he's out. And this match right here with Bo and Nick is the loser's bracket match also. So loser here is out.
Yep.
And what did Keo? He just beat Clayton. I see David Langer has his jacket on, so he's out. So who else? There's one more bowler that would be out after this 2 games. I don't know who it is yet.
Well, that'll either be Payne or Thomas Cleveland.
Okay. Looks like Matt Payne is ready to bowl the next match, so I think Thomas Cleveland must have lost.
I think you might be correct.
And Brent, 235 Keo to 217 Clayton. The oil pattern for today was the junior gold.
We had that in reverse. That's Thomas Cleveland moving on.
Well, what was Matt standing back there?
I think he was probably looking up at the scores going, I should have done better.
Oh, contemplating.
He was probably analyzing where he messed up.
Okay, well, see, that's what we don't know from stuff that's way down there. We're trying to see somebody's actions.
Well, and I'm going to sneak out and I'll go get an updated sheet now after these matches are going to be done here.
Yeah, it'll still be kind of quiet for a little bit. We'll just watch this going on right now. And Bo strikes out for 181. And all Nick needs to do is keep it on the lane.
I believe Matt Payne lost. He's got his shoes on, his street shoes on. Thomas beat him.
Yes, we figured that.
Okay, I heard you say something. I heard you say, you and Jason say you thought Matt won.
I did say that.
Yeah.
And then Jason corrected me and said that we were saying that Matt Payne was just contemplating that he should have done better.
Right.
Yeah. So behind me is David Ullman, and Dave and I bowled in the same pair in the last game today, and we both wondered why we kept shooting 160s and 70s. But we did come to the conclusion that we should have started out further right and with more ball, right, and just rolled it up there and kept changing balls or move a little bit left or right. I said it a little bit earlier, I tried to keep the ball between 10 and 15 so I could not give the pocket away. And of course, if I gave the pocket away, I missed the head pin. And if
Absolutely perfect.
And that wasn't obviously the right place to play because I wasn't perfect. So anyway, we were done after our 8 games. We didn't even get senior casters, Davey.
No, I know it.
We might have
Rough day.
rough day. We might have to look up Shohei Ohtani for a loan or something.
Shohei, did you sponsor me for a couple of tournaments?
I heard. I know it's 10. He's got a 10-year, $700 million contract.
Yep.
But I guess it's 20-year deferred money, so it's like 35 a year.
It's still the largest contract in the history of any sport.
Well, it is, and people say it's not worth the money.
Well, that's up to the Dodgers to decide.
That's what I say. Correct. The money's there. Yep. They wouldn't pay him if the money wasn't there. Now, is it a lot of money? And should people not make this much money? Well, it's hard to say because you should make whatever you can get, whatever job you have.
Yep.
I don't care what you're doing.
The people that are saying it's too much money, are they going to turn down a raise from their employer?
Exactly. So if they have the money to pay, that means, the Dodgers, obviously, they get a big TV contract.
Yes.
They get 4 million fans a year. They've always had a winning product on the field, it seems like.
213 was Nick.
Correct.
181.
213, 181. Yep. Nick over.
No.
So anyway, it's just the way the sports are. What's really kind of funny, I tell people this too. They say, well, nobody's worth that. And they always talk about sports. Do you know how much the movie actors and stuff make? We don't know because it's not publicized. They probably make,
Dwayne Johnson is probably the richest guy in the freaking world almost as far as entertainers or athletes.
And should he make that much money? Well, yeah, because he deserves it because people watch the movies.
Buy the tickets and go to see his shows.
Yeah. So you should always it's all relative. If somebody's got the money to pay you, and if that guy doesn't pay you, somebody else will. Now, why
anybody would begrudge somebody of making the money that they're capable of making, I've never understood.
I agree. The money's there. The only thing that bothers me in baseball is there's no salary cap.
Right.
So only 3 or 4 teams would have had a chance to do that.
Guys like that. I agree with that too.
Anybody in the Midwest, you talk about Minnesota, Kansas City, Milwaukee. Although the Cardinals seem to have a little bit more money, and the White Sox and Cubs do. The Cubs for sure do. White Sox not as much as the Cubs. But we don't have that kind of money up here, so we have to get hand-me-downs. So we'll see what happens on our Twins this year. I'll be going all the time. I'll watch them. Oh, Jason Hansen coming with the stats right away, man. They're
looking at trade, but I saw a thing on MLB.com that they're looking at the trade market.
The Twins are looking at the trade market. Oh, absolutely, yes. All right, we've got to get back to bowling here. Not that I couldn't talk baseball all day long, whatever, but so the matches, last match. Keogh, we saw that beat Clayton Moore, so they were both in the winner's bracket. Jake Green beat Josh Kennedy 202 to 182, so Jake moving in the winner's bracket. He's bowling Keogh. Jace King with 236 over Rob Clemens, 193. Rob at 250, 190. So anyway, Jason, the winner's bracket, and then Brandon Cryer beat William Jones, 240 to 160. So William goes 260, 160.
Yeah.
Was that because he didn't get 10 minutes of practice on that pair? Yes and no, because he probably set him up with his dull purple urethane that he was using.
You as well, buddy.
I'll do
Thank
that.
you.
Good day, Lump. Thanks. Good
Yep,
bowling.
see ya.
We'll see you. In the losers bracket, Jason Cragen beat David Langer, so Dave's out and Jason moved on. Matt Payne lost 193 to 191. That's why we were watching.
Oh, yeah. He was looking to see where he could find two pins.
And he really easily could have done that. And then Zach Andreessen over Chad Nelson we saw, and Nick Heilman over Bo Uvero, I should say. So now we got some winners brackets. Everybody's getting a little more down to this end of the house. We can try to get everybody in somehow or another talked about now. So we're down to 12 bowlers. Rocky, tell me that again, what you wrote about Shohei. Oh, okay. The Angels were making 20 to 30 million a year from Japan because of Shohei. That's what you're saying. And he'll make more for the Dodgers than he made for the Angels. I got what you're saying. That's probably very true because Japan is a lot closer to LA than it is to New York, right? So more people will fly over from Japan to watch him play in the West Coast, which I think is why there was talk even looking at Seattle, but then also he was looking at Toronto for some odd reason.
Well, I'm pretty sure Lane 7 there, Josh Kennedy, I think that was that new Hammer NU, the not urethane.
Not urethane.
Going down the lane, yeah. So Brandon Cryer with a strike there.
So Brandon and Jace King. They're both next to Jace all day, and he just kept the ball in play and picked up a lot of his spares besides that 1, 2, 4, 6,
except
10.
for the super washouts he had.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well,
if you're going to play out there.
Yeah, that's risk reward. See on lane 8 there, Zach Andreessen losing one in the right channel.
So you've played out by the gutter before, and you've thrown gutters on the first ball.
A lot.
What do you do on that second one? Do you
throw it exactly like I did on the first one?
Yeah. You tend to squeeze it a little something?
No. I guess I have a comfort level out there, so I don't. I don't. I guess feel that nervous out there, but that's just because I spend a lot of time out there.
I think.
We got away with one.
His thumb on that one. Oh,
yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he pinched it.
See, that's what he did. I don't know, subconsciously he didn't want to throw another one in there.
Sure.
And want to get some pins, I guess. I don't really know. But that wasn't one of his better shots.
No. Yeah, I saw Jace, I think, well, he was the leader after one. So, I mean, I know he got out of the gates well. He had a good starting game. And then it looks like he just kind of rode it from there.
It looks like you did. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, he might have had some other decent games along the way, but I mean, I know he put himself kind of.
Well, put it this way: he was. We're talking about Zach Andreessen. 238, 230, 231, 234, 243. Then 181, 138, 178. So either wherever he was playing, well, obviously it went away and he was fishing.
Yeah.
I don't think he was playing out by the gutter early on. I'd have to bet he was in more. Josh Kennedy.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Josh is one who he's always talking to himself, always trying his best, never gives up.
Right?
Jake Green, he went 8-1 at first frame. Looks like it was a split. Then went strike, and he's bowling against Keogh, who went spare, strike. So that's going to be another tough match. Thomas Cleveland starts out with a turkey and spare, and then Rob Clements goes goes spare, strike, spare, and Josh crossing over for a strike. Didn't throw where he wanted to, but obviously he got a strike out of it. Happen to see Jake Green's ball going down on lane 5. Just didn't pick up the roll early enough to leave that 2-7. You'll see Zach Andreessen here on just left side of your screen. That's the same thing that happened.
Yeah, it looked just like the last time there.
So I'm wondering if there's obviously for him there's a hook spot about halfway down the lane. It hooks up a lot earlier for him. So is he still using the shiny purple? Probably.
Yep.
Jake picking up that split. We saw Rob Clements getting a strike for a double. He's down 10 pins to Thomas Cleveland.
So this match that we're watching here is one of the only 2 unbeatens then. The other one is the Jake Green Kehoe match that's just off the left of the cameras. Oh, roll up. Yeah, I was going to say that looked like that was out a bit from where he had been.
Well, I could say he got the 6 out.
Yes.
I think Zach's going to make a bit better shot here. You'll see him on lane 7. When you see the ball going down there, he'll post this one better, which he did.
Yep. That was a real good shot.
You know, it's funny. Usually, as we bowl some tournaments, we end up playing in more, and the left lane hooks more than the right lane. But being what you had to play outside, you had more room on the right lane, so I think more people were out further, so maybe the right lane hooks more now than the left lane, because the left lane, you couldn't get that far right because of the ball return.
Yeah.
I'm just surmising that. But
sure.
A very nice shot by Josh Kennedy for a 4-bagger.
Again, I don't know. You asked if we could show the winner side. This actually is the only match on camera that is in the winner bracket. So Brandon Cryer versus Jace King. They're one of only 4 remaining unbeaten at this time, as we see Brandon leave a big 4 there. So he was already only going at Dutch pace, and then that hit. So
that started up about halfway down the lane, probably a lot sooner, obviously, than he thought. And it was high. Once that started to make that right turn, it was going high. Didn't know if it was going to cross over or not. Pays the ultimate penalty for the big 4.
Yep.
But now he just needs to get 2 just to keep that pin count.
Right.
Of course, he threw it so hard, he's hoping to pick it up also.
Yeah.
But he got make sure he got 2.
So the other match would be Kehoe and Jake Green, but they're off camera. Sorry.
Keogh's got a double, 87 in the 4th. Jake's got a double, but he had an open, so he's got 77 in the 4th. So 10-pin match over there. Rob Clements got a turkey now, so he had 60 in the 3rd with a turkey up, a 118 in the 5th with a strike up for Thomas Cleveland. I gotta say, we don't have the camera on 7 and 8 here watching Zach, but this is the most I've seen Zach off balance since I've been watching him bowl.
Yeah,
And
I'll agree.
I don't know if he's trying to throw the ball harder
Good shot,
possibly, and the right lane's touchier for him. So.
I did notice that as well, and that was kind of my thoughts. Maybe he's just trying to get a little more behind it, a little more into it.
Well, then he throws the backup at it. Oh, the two-handed backup. I like that.
Yeah. I don't. There is something that's a little different in his approach.
I agree.
And I haven't kind of really fully. I guess without putting it on video, who knows if I would ever see it with the naked eye, whatever the change is. But a little quicker maybe in that that hop step, that little transition step.
And I don't know if that's because he's just trying to throw it harder because they're hooking so much.
Yeah.
And it seems like, okay, the lane's forcing you to play out. You have to use whatever ball, whatever you do to play out there. Nobody's playing fourth arrow anymore.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He's just really fast in that kind of exchange there where that little hop step is, and
we'll talk to him after he's all done.
Yeah. But I agree. I noticed that too. He basically just used to post every shot.
Right.
And he falls out of just about every shot now. So, and maybe it is just today in the speed.
Just happened to see that pinfall on lane 9. If you see Jace King, he went light, so you're going to make sure the next one's not light, so you go high. And Josh got that one in. Not too much on that lane. If I'm Josh on this one, I just go for 1.
Yeah, I mean, he still has the upper hand in the match.
Just don't give away a pin or 2.
Yep.
Keel leaving a solid 9.
Now, if I'm Jace here, I mean, there's a lot of match left. I need to start striking again. I had that 3-bagger there, right? I got to get back onto whatever that is.
Yeah,
because once Brandon finds it and starts striking, we all know he can strike a lot.
And Brandon's had trouble on this right lane, so we'll see what he does. Last time he left at a big 4.
Yeah, that's a big double.
Got that one down lane a lot further.
Yep. That's a really big double for him.
Pocket, kind of a lucky strike. I was talking earlier about good breaks and bad breaks, and if everybody is really honest, they would know that they get way more good breaks than bad breaks, but people like to think if they hit the pocket, should strike. I don't know. Because you do sometimes.
That's it. Especially if you're bowling league.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen that way on this kind of stuff.
No, it does not.
Oh, Josh. Yeah, that was in quite a bit.
Josh sets it down short, crosses over for a strike after he was light on the right lane.
All right, big ball for Brandon here. Yeah,
he's like that lane too.
Yep. And that's kind of what I was hinting at there. Jace with those opens, and then just kind of not looking like he's got the pocket. He's going to have to get lined back up again real quick.
So interesting. Brandon is electing to choose to finish on the left lane. He was a higher seated bowler, and he hasn't missed on that lane yet.
Yep.
So he might have. I'm assuming he knew that.
Yeah.
What he wanted to do. Oh, he posted that one. Zach really posted that one. Got it out to the 2-board about 3/4 of the way down the lane where it struck. The best shot he's thrown in this match. Oh, and Jace needs a solid 9.
Well, he heard us. He did what he needed to. He got lined back up again.
That's not his fault. He threw it well. Over on 5 and 6, where the Jake Green Keogh undefeated bowlers are going. Jake Green had a turkey in frame 5, 6, 7. He's going to have 156 in the 7th to 143 max in the 7th for Keogh. So.
Yeah, that 3-bagger put Jake right back in the lead again.
And then Zach crosses over for a strike on the left lane. Oh, Jake. He's been bowling so well, especially on Friday nights at Flaherty's. Single pins have always been a nemesis of him.
They have.
So 164 in the 8th after he opened there. So almost an even match right now.
Yeah, if Kehoe just goes, Dutch pace, strike spare here, it's 1-pin match now.
Exactly. I'd expect Keogh to hit the pocket. He's going to have striker 9. Looks like Thomas Cleveland is having his way with Rob Clements.
Yeah, that one's going to be the end of the tournament for Rob, too, here, it looks like.
After 258, one of the highest games of the tournament. Now he's out.
Well, Thomas has really improved a lot just in the last, let's call it a year.
I was talking
so.
about that earlier.
They came up and bowled the Kegel, and him and William Jones put together a pretty impressive, whatever it was. They both had 780, so it was 1560.
Oh, that high.
Yeah, it was 1570. Yeah, 1568.
How many double sets have you ever had in 1560?
Not one that I can think of.
Okay.
I've had the pleasure of a few 1500s, but nothing that high.
I've never, I don't know if I've ever had a 1500, but we were bowling the old Kegel once at the Granite Bowl, the original, and lanes 1 and 2, I believe it was, Todd Savoy, Sam Lanto, like 1620. Yeah, that was back in, I couldn't even tell you what bowling ball era it was. It was,
that's.
It was past the angle, so it's still. I think it was still some resin stuff, whatever. I got a score sheet of that somewhere at home. That's when he wrote it all down by hand, There's Zach. Zach
back up there.
Decided to throw a backup.
Yeah, I was fortunate. Dan Bach and I had 1501 in the Kegel here this year, but that proved to. It got tied one day, and then the next day it was beat by 60 pins.
Exactly. You went from leading to tied to second.
Yep.
Tied for second.
Tied for second, yeah. But that's all right.
All right, Thomas Cleveland 245, Rob Clemens 214.
Brandon Cryer now has jumped into complete control of this match.
Josh Kennedy control of that match. I don't know what's going on. Matt's over there on 3 and 4. Let's see, we got 166 in the 7th strike up for Nick Heilman, and we got 137 in the 6th. So
strike by Clayton would tie it.
It's about an even match.
Yep. And that is a winner go home match as well.
Yeah. So Jake Green strikes in the 9th after Keogh went 8 spare strike. It's a 3-pin match.
Yep. He still has him by 3.
Jake can just double an 8 and shut him out. So Jace is moving down into the losers bracket, but he will have I think he sits out around. And you just saw Josh Kennedy miss attempt, and it didn't matter. 233 to 183 over Zach Andreessen. Watching Jake Green. Oh, and he left the bucket. He needs to pick this up and get 8 to force Keogh to get the first strike. We're seeing Nick Heilman double, so he's got 66 in the 7th with the double up, and Clayton Moore 37 in the 6th with the double up. So he gets this strike here. We got a 1-pin match going into the 10th frame, and he left a bucket. So there's 2 buckets on both lanes over there. As you see, Jace King leaving the 5-count washout, which I talked about that he picked up once and almost again. But so he's still good though. He's still all right. Jay Green picked up the bucket. Now he needs 8 pins to force Keogh to get the first strike. Clayton picked up his bucket also, but that gets him 163 in the 7th, a strike up. And he's down by 13 pins. If Jason was back here, I could figure out how to get this to at least look at lanes 7 and 8. So we could try to see what's going on left of your screen. Jay Green needing 8. goes through the nose and breaks up the big four. So he got his 8 pins, get 202. Keogh needs a strike to move on. Last time on that lane, I believe Keogh was light. Clayton Moore crossing over, 203 in the ninth. Could have 233. He'll force Nick to at least spare if he gets this next one. Keogh's the one we're watching right now. You'll see the ball's going to go down on lane 6. That's Keogh. Needs this strike to move on. Actually, this is for to stay undefeated. Either way, they're moving on. And he left an 8 count. It'll be a 202-201 match. Jake survived missing that single pin. Got what he needed in the 10th. He's going to move on to bowl Brandon Cryer for to be see who's undefeated. Clayton Moore not striking in the 9th or the 11th. Nick Heilman's going to win that match. So Clayton Moore's day is over, and Zach Andreessen's day is over. Rob Clement's day is over, and we got William Jones and Jason Cragen, and they're way over there on 15 and 16. Don't know what's going on over there. They're not in a hurry to finish the match. Somebody's winning by a lot more than the other, and I don't know who it is. I think Jason beating William, if I'm not mistaken there. Solid 8 for Nick Heilman, but he didn't need it. I do think that Jason beat William, so William is out. So it looks like our winners match is going to be on lane 7 and 8. I didn't know how to get to that screen to change that. Oh, you go down there. See you, Chad. Drive safe. See you soon.
Have a good, you're not bowling next weekend, are you?
I'm planning on it. We're bowling Alex on Saturday and MSC Sunday.
I might see you Sunday. I'm going to bowl Roch on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But if I don't, have a good Christmas.
You too. Take care. So we got Brandon Cryer, Jake Green. The winners matches here, and they both go one shot in each lane. And Brandon, of course, gets a choice. There's some heavy-duty betting going on over here. Brady Stearns is doing, saying, nope, I'm not in. All the young guys got money, Brady. All right, so they're going to be re-racking these, deleting the scores, and all eyes on 7 and 8 here. So Looks like Brandon's going to start the match because I think he likes the left lane better. I mean, he must like the right lane better. Otherwise, he wouldn't be starting it, is my guess. Either that or maybe he thought that watching Jake's ball motion down lane, maybe he thought that Jake would have a tougher shot on the left lane to finish. Solid strike to start. Jake Green sporting the Locker Guy shirt and the new haircut. Not used to him. Not used to him having short hair. Oh, Jake, you got that one going up at the pocket around 8 to 10. Definitely going too much right to left right away. And I know he didn't want to do that. But get 3 pins right here. So okay, got us 3. Got that open out of the way. See if Jake can make a little bit better shot here on the left lane. Yeah, definitely better off his hand. Trips a 4, but could be hooking a little earlier for him. The right lane definitely hooked up a lot sooner. I'm not sure if he can throw it harder or move a little bit. As Brian is re-racking lane 8 here. Wants to make sure that obviously all the pins are on spot. Kind of a half 7 pin there. I think the ball labored down there a little bit too much. Oh, we got the scores updated. I was just trying to see what's going on down at the other end of the house there. So we got Josh Kennedy, Nick Heilman, and Thomas Cleveland, Jason Cragen bowling right now. And right? Yep. And then we got Jace King and Keel, who are just waiting a round or two. Oh, actually, they're just waiting one game. They got a practice pair that they really haven't started practicing on yet. But so we're not using 13 and 14 anymore. Correct. That's going to be the practice pair now.
Yeah, after this match, everything, for the most part, kind of moves its way right into our cameras.
I like that. So that shot there by Brandon was lighter than the one he let on the right lane. The right lane was a half 7, and that one was lighter. That's why he carried it. Either way, when you leave those half 7s, half 10s, you got to either be lighter or higher. So he did what he had to do to get that strike. We'll see what Jake does here because he left the Greek Church first frame. I'm not sure if he's playing him the same or not. Tripped a 4 lane on the second frame. And I think he's going to move in a hair and throw it a little bit harder. Got it down the lane better.
Yeah. Yep.
Half 10.
Little half 10. Yep.
But got into the pocket if you had to make an adjustment after the first one.
Well, I can see that Nick's got the front 3 down there, and Josh has got not a fill yet after 2.
Oh, not a 3-frame game though, is it?
It is not. There's
Okay.
there's a lot more to be had. I'll run down and check
Like
the
I
other
mentioned
match
before,
too.
Josh is one that not to give up ever. He's going to keep
That's
talking
right.
to himself,
Yep.
and he'll be talking, and sometimes the other guy hears that too. Mm-hmm. I think he got a lucky strike right there because he came back laughing. Kind of carried out. He did strike. Kind of carried a funny 10-pin. We'll turn that.
Thank you.
And kind of jostling a little bit high, tripped out a 4-7 or whatever. He's got a double now. Okay, Jake's a little bit, he's looking at his hand like he didn't get that one off his hand very good. And you know, he went high, tripped at 4. Last time on that lane, left kind of a half 10. Should have one a little bit down a little bit too hard. So he's not quite comfortable on this pair yet, where Brandon's pretty comfortable. Hey, all with the ball. That's the way to pick that up. Kind of funny on some spare shots. You always seem to be more under control in your spare shots than you do on the strikes. But because you just like take it, you just got to throw the ball easily. You don't have to like throw it hard and do this or do that to try to strike. All you do is like hit the pins in the right spot. They fall over. And Nick Hanlon had the front 4 and then just left a 10-pin. Still got a lead on Josh Kennedy though. Okay, Brandon kind of fell off that shot. Didn't get where he wanted to, but he struck. So lucky for him. Now he's got a double. Another light one. So it's 3 light ones in a row after that half 7.
At this point, Cragen and Cleveland are kind of pillow fighting a Dutch match.
Okay.
Kennedy opened the first 2, now has a 3-bagger. Heilman had the front 4, and then a single pin spare.
That was that 10-pin. I saw it from here. So it ain't over yet, in other
Not
words.
at all.
No. Come on, Jake needs to throw a good shot here, put some pressure on the match against Brandon. That was really nice. Off his hand nicely, got it to the right spot, hooked up high flush. Now, I don't know if there's any difference on the left lane. I could just see from here Josh Kennedy with a solid strike to give him a 4-bagger. Try to get back in that match against Nick. Going back to this match here with Jake Green in his first shot in this game, he left that Greek church. I don't think he threw it very well. Might not have taken the right amount of time, might have rushed. It kind of sets the tone for the next few shots because you're not as comfortable. Really good to get off to a good start. And that one, he set down short, going up there and crossed over for a strike. Your opponents never like to see that. You kind of feel guilty, you kind of feel bad about it when you do that, but you certainly are going to take the strikes. Another light strike, got that 10 out late. And he gets high and trips out to 6-8. So everything's going his way right now. The only flush one was the first frame. But he's striking. Means he's got some room out there. Of course, you don't really shoot high scores without having some room. You don't win matches without being able to get some breaks along the way. That was in. Well, I thought it was in, but it was right in the pocket there. So that's a good shot by Jake. If he's got any chance to win this match, he must strike here in the 8th frame. And his last shot on this lane was crossed over. So we'll see what happens here. Scott Endersby. Yeah, someday we'll see you bowling again. You're too young to not be bowling, I can tell you that. Turn that one on.
Is it not on?
I don't think so. Oh, solid strike by Jake. There it is. Oh, they're both on. The mics are on. All right. I'm just welcoming into the booth here our CBA president, Matt Payne, who did bowl today and did make the cut.
I did.
And then
I lost twice right in a row.
Oh, right in a row? All right. Well, okay. But you were up there. You were bowling. So
I was.
You got to tell me your thoughts on what happened, how you started out playing and how you ended up playing. Did you start out playing more to the right at the beginning?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and all the way through qualifying. Yeah. Yeah, I was out to the, I was like looking at 4, 5, 6 basically all day.
Okay.
And then during match play, I lost the front part of the lane. And anytime I moved left, even in qualifying, I'd move left. And it never cornered for me down lane. Everything just kept going and going and going. And
that's, see, my fault was I started in way too deep because everybody around me was playing like between second, third arrow, and I thought I would do that to keep the ball in play so that I would not give the pocket away. I don't know why I didn't think about moving my feet about 15 boards right. And when I did, I had a lot better shot to the pocket. Right. And I don't know why I didn't do that. So, I was just talking about Brandon Cryer's last 5 shots. 4 of them were light. 1 was a 6-8. He hasn't been solid flush except the first frame he was. They just left that 3-6 or 3-5-6, missed that. So now he was cruising. Yeah. Now it's not quite over yet as a match.
Right. You've got Thomas Cleveland is cruising down there.
Hey,
He's going at 290 pace.
Okay.
And so Cragen's got an open mixed in there and that, and some spares. So Thomas is definitely in control, and then Heilman definitely in control over Kennedy as well.
Okay.
I mean, I still feel bad that I lost twice, but I did lose to Jake Green and Thomas Cleveland. Well, and they're both continued to win after they beat me, so that's good.
That's because they're younger than you. I was talking about the people who made the cut. It was like 5 young guys that are, I'm talking young, I'm talking like in their 20s.
Yep.
And there were 3 young seniors. I can say that because they were only early 50s.
Right.
You were right in the middle. Who else made it? That was in the Cragen's about your age too, isn't he?
Yeah,
and,
he might have a couple years on me, but he's in the 40s.
And then we had Clayton Moore, probably there. David, we were talking about David Langer and
he's a young old guy.
Chad Nelson and Rob Clemens, all being like 51 and 52. And then, we kind of covered all of them, but a lot of young guys, which is obviously a good thing that we see all these young guys out here bowling. But it's kind of passed me by here. I'm not. Oh, Jake, don't do that. First of all, Jake needed that strike in the 8th frame to put a lot of pressure on, and then he just whipped that 4-7, and now it's like almost over.
Yeah, that one hurts.
Yeah, it actually is. He needed to pick that up and double to force Brandon to at least show up in the 10th frame.
Right.
Well, but luckily this is the winner. He's going to be the winner, the loser of the winner's bracket.
Right.
He sits out a couple, 2-3 games, come back. Still has a chance. He'll have to beat Brandon twice to win the tournament.
Correct. Yep.
So Brandon's guaranteed second place.
Yeah.
That one was kind of didn't really matter. I'm not going to move on anyway or whatever. So. So we got Keogh and Jace King warming up on 13 and 14. They'll be coming in to bowl the winners of probably Nick Heilman and Thomas Cleveland. And that'll be somewhere over here, I'm assuming, Jason, on somewhere in our camera range.
Where the 11 and 12 will have the Keogh match.
So that'll be on.
Keogh against the winner of the Heilman-Kennedy match.
So probably Heilman.
Which I think it's Heilman, right?
Whoa.
That'll be the only match we have.
Whoopsies. Whoopsies.
Whoopsies is, yeah.
Well, you have to.
Well, he says that. And I believe him. But,
But that one wasn't.
yeah. You do it once, you can do it again, right? Yeah, but he needs to keep...
He needs 4 pins.
Oh, he's throwing plastic at that.
Wow.
Wait the...
Yeah, quite the tournament event there. But, okay, there's a perfect example of not having focus because you didn't need it.
Right.
When you're needed, you're going to focus. You're not going to do that.
Right.
And so anybody
Right.
could just kind of get up there and throw it. But, you're not thinking. That's like I talk about missing 10 pins. Mm-hmm. I missed one today of all the ones that I left, but only because I wasn't thinking.
Yep. Yeah,
Although-
I missed only one today, too, and it was on a... Yeah, I was more worried about what happened to leave the
To leave it.
pin.
That's what I talk about all the time because you're always thinking about that instead of
Right. And what I was going to do the next time I was
Yes.
on there to try to get rid of it.
Correct.
And I should have just thought about after the frame was complete.
we all do that.
Yeah. It's easy enough to do.
I missed a 4, a 7, and a 10. There's only 3 single pins I missed. I missed a couple of buckets, about 3 washouts. I don't know how many splits.
The washout was very prevalent out here today. I saw a lot of washouts.
The 5-count washout.
Yes.
Jace King was the master of the 5-count washout. One game, which is the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. He left it 3 times in one game. Got 2 pins, I think, the first time he left it. The next time he left it, he got 2 pins, but he got the 1, 6. So he left the 2, 4, and the 10. I had to look twice to see what that was. And then the third time in the ninth, he picked it up. So he was 1 for 3
you
that
leave it
game.
enough, you
Yeah,
leave it.
exactly. You know what to do, whatever. So this is moving along nicely. The good pace there. We had a really good pace of 3 per pair. And the qualifying got done about an hour and a half to 2 hours earlier than normal by having 3
my
on a
God.
pair compared to 4 and 5.
We were going through practice. I looked over at Jeff Walter and I go, this is going to be real fast.
The only thing that kept it slower was the scoring pace.
Right. Yeah.
And it ended up being, though, where there were still a bunch of pairs that there'd be a match that would be, done. Game 6. To be exact, we actually had some issues with collecting scores because they had gone down to get scores. And somebody had already written down, game 6 because they had finished 6 and they were collecting game 5.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so then they wrote the last score down on there. So we had some corrections we had to make.
Yeah.
Anyways, it still ended up being there was a huge disparity between the time. And there were people that were done with game 8 Well, people were just coming down to start game 8.
Want me to tell you who were on those pairs? Never mind.
You know, that's for sure.
It wasn't me.
You're never going to guess. Clark was really late to one of my pairs.
That was when
I dropped a name.
Oh, yeah.
I went walking down to see who was coming from the high end, and I made it 2/3 of the way down and saw him walking towards me with his bags and went, oh, makes sense.
Yes, we need your scores.
What'd you have?
So you won.
He's got to rub it in. He only won by 104.
Right.
That was Thomas Cleveland saying 267 to 163. Might as well stopping frame 6.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you know, if you get up to a point and you can mathematically shut the guy out, do you have to finish the game?
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were talking about that. We were bowling last weekend up at St. Cloud and then the team challenge.
Yeah.
And Luke, you know, the Amish Luke on our team.
Yeah, I do.
Well, he's so used to bowling 15 frames now that we didn't have enough score because you guys only bowl 10 frames.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Us Quakers only bowl 10
exactly.
frames.
You're right. Yeah. He's used to. That's all you got. Well, yeah, but I'm not done yet. Oh, yeah, you are in this scoring. So we got Jace King against Thomas Cleveland.
Yep,
They get a practice shot in each lane.
5 and 6, and the
Nick Heilman,
or no,
Keogh.
3 and 4, and
Oh.
yeah, Nick and Keogh are on 11 and 12, which is what we're showing right now.
We like it. Have they taken their practice shots? I think they did.
I believe they did. They
Yep.
shook hands, and
Oh.
Nick started.
And so that means Keogh had the choice. So
Yep.
either he wanted to finish on the left lane, or he wanted to have the ball. He wanted to finish before
Right.
let Nick have the ball in hand to try to finish in the 10th frame.
Multiple things they could have picked
Yes.
there, right? Yeah.
Keogh, he's not using that blue hammer anymore. Doesn't look like he's got
Nope.
a resin ball in his hand. What
He
the
may
hell?
have even moved left a little.
What's he going to do with that? But we're going to find out right here. His feet are way left than what he is. Going to throw it more up, about 9 or 10. And, get the good old 5 count. Well, if you leave a bad split count, first frame is probably the best spot to do it in,
Yeah.
unless you've won the match in the 10th, it doesn't matter.
Right. If there's a frame to do it in, that's the
Yeah.
frame.
Now, do you go for this? Try to get them all? I think so.
I would think so too, but
I didn't know if he was trying to throw in between all of them. All right. Jason and our crack staff, man, they got the scores out here really fast. As you saw the match between Brandon Cryer and Jake Green, it was 213-199. You saw how that finished. And, of course, we knew that Thomas Cleveland won his match 267-163 because he kind of
he didn't even need that many, and he got
No.
he got quite a bit.
We were saying, Jason, that, if a guy's got somebody mathematically shut down to 6th frame, do you have to bowl the rest of the game?
Well, I would say yeah. I'm a firm believer in it's not a score unless it's a complete game.
Well, you're right, because
But it would sure be tempting if you really wanted to speed it up.
Well-
This is shut out. See ya.
yeah,
I mean,
just move
I've
on.
been at a tournament where someone's walked out. I won't say names, but they left early.
Because just give me gutter the rest of the way if they
Yep.
were already done. Oh,
In Eau
okay.
Claire.
All right. Well, years ago, and we do have the rule, actually. It's I'm not sure if it's written down, but it's in the general rules of bowling in a step-ladder match. And if you're in 10th frame, you have the guy shut out, and you got the 10th frame to bowl, you still have to bowl it because one guy tore his thumb. This is years and years ago. And he didn't want to bowl anymore, and he had to, but he was winning that game. We said, no, you actually have to throw the ball in the 10th frame. I don't care if you don't split, you don't spare anything, but you have to bowl. Right-handed, whatever you have. If it's right now, it's two-handed, or you can't throw it two-handed with not putting all
Without
your fingers in the bowling ball. So, but you have to finish it because what if you hurt yourself? What if you? I don't know.
Right.
Not fair to the next guy coming up. Unless, of course, it's a championship match, you don't want to do it. That might be different.
Sure.
But it's kind of in the rules.
Nick's ball reaction's really good.
Oh.
Like really good.
Except for that 124 game.
Right.
Andy Mills wanted to know how he got that. Do you know how he got that?
By shooting a lot of spares.
Well, okay.
And missing this.
We didn't know how the scoring went there, but I said
no, I didn't
he
see
probably
it,
didn't
but-
get a lot of strikes.
Yeah. He didn't get 10 down on the first shot, that's for sure.
Yeah,
And maybe not even all 10 on the second one.
exactly.
A few different times.
Right.
Yes.
That's the one thing too. You only get 2 shots.
Right.
Was it candle pins or duck pins or something like that?
Yeah, both.
You get
Yeah, you get 3.
3. Is it 3? I wasn't sure if it was only 3 or if it's.
You Quakers.
Yeah, we just talked about that with Luke. You know.
Yeah.
That's why our score didn't end up very high up last weekend up there, Jason, because Luke expected about 15 frames with the Amish.
Yep.
And
He
we
was
could.
asking for more handicap because his average was based on 15 frames.
Correct. Didn't help us. Yeah, the old half 10. I'm watching Jace from the side here now. He's kind of like posting every shot now. I see him a lot on Friday nights at Flaherty's, and he's like either first or second league in average at Flaherty's, which the Flaherty's fun shot is not the easiest. The easiest.
It could take some work there.
It does take some work there. I have a hard time with it. Keel. Oh, he got that one. But, anyway, he's really gotten better and better. And I bowled next to him all day long. He just kept the ball in play pretty much all day. Besides those 5-pound washouts.
They just sneak up on you.
Oh, yeah.
They do. You get a little quick down the lane, that'll happen.
The third time, that's when you're supposed to not sneak up on you anymore.
Yeah. I was watching Nick game 2 or 3 or whatever it was. I crossed with him. You know, he's like 4th arrow and throwing it out to 12 and
Really?
hooking back, and I'm going, how do you do that? And that's what I saw. People around me playing it deep like that, which is why I didn't go out further.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, oh, there must be a hook spot there. Or like David Langer always told me, you get in some patterns we got to be in, you just feed it to the spot.
Right.
My ball was never hungry enough
Right.
when it got to that spot. So it
You and I
didn't-
both.
Exactly. So we got to be further right. And I just didn't do that. See, I should know better. I'm all done bowling this, and now I figured that out. Well, I didn't
That's about time.
Yeah, well, I kind of did in the 6th frame. Well, the end of the 5th game, kind of did. Watching Jake Green of all people throwing it right up above first arrow, and he's one who could have been in more. We'll be back here in about another month for the Minnesota Masters. I believe January 20th. I think it's a Saturday. And Thomas
I believe
Cleveland
that's right.
whiffing a 9-pin, the $1 million 9-pin.
$1 million 9
I
pin.
just don't.
I'd pick an 8 pin.
All right.
Still in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. But to me, it's more cross lane that way, where I don't know what it's going to do. Either one of those, you're right. 5-pin, I wouldn't choose.
That was a good
Even though I
shot.
picked them all up, except for the time I left a 5-9. I didn't want to chop it, so of course I didn't get to the 5.
Right.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Oh,
Keel come back with a strike.
yeah, Keogh's
77 and a 4th.
there. He's down 2 with, but he's got to strike
got
up
to
to Nick's
strike.
spare up.
That'll be probably a pretty good match to watch all the way.
Oh yeah.
Well, not that the match on 3-4 won't be good either, but our camera's not there.
Right. Oh, that's a good 2-pin for Jace. I think I said that about 100 times today. Wow, that was a good 2-pin. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
It could have been a 210. It could have been a bunch of
bucket.
stuff.
It could have been 2-8-10, which is impossible to pick up.
Right.
Almost. I don't think I've ever picked up a 2-8-10.
I know I haven't. So
I don't think I have.
you got a couple of years on me.
More than a couple. You're not even a young senior yet.
No, I'm not a young senior yet. They were, I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were saying they were trying to figure out if they were closer to being a junior bowler or a senior bowler. And I said, well, I'm closer to being a senior bowler at this point
Yeah,
than a
exactly.
junior bowler.
Right, yeah. Hey, you're a baseball pitcher.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I pretend.
What do you think about Shohei Ohtani?
Oh, boy.
$700 million
an
7-year
interesting-
contract.
That's interesting because didn't he just have Tommy John or
Yeah.
have something with his
Yeah,
elbow?
this is
And-
he's not even pitching next year.
yeah, see, that's a lot of money
I
for a
agree.
DH
Yeah,
slash.
that's all he can do. I don't think he's at any other position to play. Now I was talking to somebody who told me, I know it's 7 years, 700 mil, or I mean 10 years, 700 million.
Yeah.
Oh, Thomas
I mean,
missed
I'd
another
accept
single
it if that's
fin.
what you're asking.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah. But I heard it's a lot of deferred money, so it's really like a 20-year,
Sure.
35-year for 20
Bobby
years.
Bonilla.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, July 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day. He gets $1 million every July 1st till like, I don't know, 2036 or something like
Yeah.
that. And that's because of the Mets. And who's the guy? Bernie Maddox. Helped the Mets guys invest money. This is honest to God. He's the one, Madoff. It's called Bernie Madoff. Yeah. He's the guy who led to Mets to believe that you can take all this money and you'll be able to pay all these guys later on down the road because you're going to make this with money. The Ponzi scheme didn't
Right.
work.
Did not work.
Yeah, so he's anyway, that hurt him big time. Anyway, yeah, so it's a lot of money for a baseball player. And I don't care that he gets it because I think you should get it whatever you can make. I don't
Right,
care.
yeah.
There should be no limit if somebody's going to pay you that. In fact, my problem I have is only about 4 teams could do this based on the
Right.
salary cap.
Absolutely.
There is none in baseball, and the mid-market teams like we have up here never have a chance to get
No.
those kind of players. So you got to, and somebody just said this too, you got to hope your young guys hit and they all play really well together, and then you keep a couple of them, but you can't keep them all, and they move on to bigger and better
Yeah.
contracts. So, and you start over again. We're not the only team that does that, even though Facebook guys all think the poll that they're the only team that does that.
Right.
Anyway, let's get back to bowling here because we got a pretty good match between Keo
Yeah.
and Nick.
The crowd was going wild on that last strike. I don't know why, but they were.
Did you see any money changing hands back there or something? I don't know.
I didn't, but maybe I'm missing it.
Yeah. Well, they keep it under the table, you know. 'cause
Right.
You did say the amount of that contract. I almost chimed in. So John Rahm money then
Oh, yeah.
is
John
what they're
Rahm.
giving him.
Yeah. 'Cause
That's not a bad.
Clayton Moore is, you can hear him in the background.
he wants to be on the mics, so he's being
Well,
loud.
one way or another,
Right.
find a way to have his voice
Yeah.
on the mic or heard.
Heard,
John
yeah.
Rahm going to Live Golf for
Yeah, 600 million. roughly, or
600
something
Yeah,
like that.
I just heard that.
Yeah.
Isn't it all okay? Didn't they? All right, Nick. That's for a four-bagger. Take a good lead. Didn't they like go together with the PGA or something? Or what happened on
Well,
that?
yeah, you're allowed to do both.
yeah.
I guess that's really.
Is that what it?
I think that's where it ended up.
Okay.
Yeah. The PGA couldn't afford to not let them go both ways.
Yeah.
They would lose viewership if they
Well,
did.
Well, that's what I thought. Why can't somebody do if they want to play both? They can play both, right? I'm sure there could have been some lawsuits if they would have told them they couldn't play in one.
And
Keo's
it
not
initially
giving up, by
started
the way.
that way, where they didn't want Liv
Right.
was not supposed to
Oh.
play. They weren't supposed to bowl, which good they weren't.
Yeah, not on the course.
Not on the course.
Not on the course, yeah.
Bad for the greens.
Yeah. And they don't have enough dimples in the bowling ball.
That's
So
right.
Oh, that's another reason, yeah. You get a ball. Can you imagine using a golf ball type of dimples on a bowling ball? And if you get it hitting the right one at the right time, it would go left or right.
right. Imagine the noise,
Yes.
the high rep bullet the whole way down.
Oh,
I think he
Keo.
liked
I
it.
didn't like that one.
Oh, nobody believed that he did that. Well, let's
So
look
he
at this.
maxes at 237.
And 220 pace is what Nick's
Yeah.
going at.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 220 if he just fills the 10th
Right.
frame. So. Oh, but he needs more than that.
Yeah, he needs the first one, right?
Yeah, he will if he gets this one.
Yeah.
What about your Kirkhoven, Matt? Is that that first one needed?
It says that Heilman's got 249 max, so 237, 249. So
So I was right.
that was a big
Good.
shot.
That was
by
a huge
Keo.
shot. Now
Yep.
he needs
Now-
to force him in first one.
Yep, forced him on the first one.
You think Nick's getting a little bit nervous over there?
Absolutely not.
You can see it.
I know. I'm trying to see if I
Absolutely
saw any kind of. Oh, he just turned his head.
Yeah.
You might have heard us talking about it. That's
Right.
the only thing that's gonna. he's going to be so methodical. He's going to be throw the ball the same way, and it's probably just going to strike like it always has been done. So of the bowlers left,
Oh,
Yeah, that looked
slow and like all of it. Everything you could do
34.
wrong there. 34. Well, it's still. I mean, it didn't matter what he got on that fill.
No.
I think Nick needed it all. Needed at least the first one.
Yeah.
so I was going to ask you the question of who's left, who you think has a chance to beat Brandon, but let's wait and see what Nick does here first.
Yeah.
Because it's Jake Green, Jace King, possibly. He's got a pretty good lead.
And this is turned into a pillow fight over there.
I would have honestly kind of said,
oh, the 7-10.
goodness.
That's a bad break.
That is a bad break.
Although it wasn't much more than a 7 or a 10 anyway. It was like a 9-count shot. Well, have you ever seen this picked up in a match where you needed
Well, I don't know
What?
that he's going to go for it because he doesn't. It won't matter.
Yeah, it's
No.
insignificant.
Yeah, but it might have been pick it up. Anyway, so that changes. I think I was going to ask, who do you think between
Yeah,
now-
well, that changes my answer too.
Yes, yeah, mine too.
Well, and I was going to say, honestly, that off to our left, we've got the Jace King Thomas Cleveland match. I would have kind of thrown Thomas into that match, saying I think he had a good chance.
I agree.
This pair has not been
going to get there.
right.
The
This
two
pair's
single
not
pins.
been friendly.
The 2 single pins didn't help him one bit.
Yeah, that's not good when you miss those.
6. Well, he's down by like 38 pins, so could he make that up? Not really.
I mean, Jace has been clean. That's
Yeah, and he
that's the biggest thing.
ain't gonna matter. He's already. Oh, now that the 10th
Now
he left,
it's
he's already.
kinda-
So we got Jace King, Jake Green, and Kehoe to battle it out to see who bowls
Goes
Brandon
Pryor.
Pryor for the championship. He has to beat him twice.
That is correct.
It's like Jake Green is practicing with a couple different bowling balls over there. That's the one good thing about getting, out of a match.
Right.
You get a bye, and you can try a couple other things.
Hey, Ringster, I didn't see you comment on there. What else we got?
The right side, it's starting to get probably a little beat up. Everybody playing outside of 10.
A lot more than a little beat up.
Yeah. And you can't move in because you just can't do anything. You've got to figure out a way to keep that ball in that zone, get it down the lane at the right spot where it finishes at the
Right.
top.
Yep. Yeah. The goal at this point is to get it down the lane,
Yes.
and it's hard. It's hard. Kehoe earlier when he was down a couple matches ago was lofting it a little bit
Yes.
through the front part of the lane, and he's now gone away from it. Obviously, he saw something else, and it worked. Obviously, won his match.
Yeah.
Curious of
Even though he got a lucky one.
yeah, see if he stays with that, or if he goes back to urethane or whatever, that blue hammer urethane that,
Yeah,
I joke with him that it's more plugged than it is bowling ball, but
Is that fair?
I don't know.
It is at 17 pounds. I was watching him today, and he sets it down like on the one board.
7-8.
We're going to 7-8 for the next match here. So he sets it down like on that one board.
Oh yeah.
And it just rolled up. It's at the pocket at about 35 feet, and just stays there. And he does that, well, better than anybody, because
And, yeah.
I don't see anybody else does that. Who else could do that? Sam Lanto is the kind of guy who could do that.
Yep.
He was good at that. He doesn't even need urethane to do that.
Right.
So Jace King, nice, solid, clean game,
2-0.
2-0. That's all he needed to do.
163. 203 to 163.
Wow,
Thomas
see.
had a good day. That's
Oh, we were talking earlier about how much he's improved over this last year.
yeah.
He's going to win one of these here soon. He's very competitive. Gets all excited all the time. He's always jumping around. Oh no, he doesn't do that. He just gets all excited. No, he's like,
Nope.
like Ron, like his dad.
Yep. Yep.
Ron came back and bowled today after his hip surgery that he had,
And-
about 4 months ago, and
Yep.
got a senior casher out of it. It was a pretty good day for him.
Oh
I
yeah.
think he's probably kind of hobbling around a little bit, but
Yeah. Jake's got a whole ball rack full of bowling balls down there. He's going through.
if he gets back on 13-14, he's going to kill him. Oh, wait a minute. We're not getting on that.
Yeah, may not make it there.
Exactly. So Kehoe and Jace King will be bowling.
To see who plays Jake.
See who plays Jake, and then to see who plays Brandon. So
Yeah.
what do we got? What time we got here? It is now 3:07. We got 1, 2, 3 matches for sure. 46. That's about a little over an hour, and it could be 4 matches if something happens there. So we got about an hour and a half left here. This would be the earliest we've ever got done in a Masters tournament.
Oh my. Yeah.
And a lot of it is because we had 3 on a pair. We can do it here at Southtown because there's 48 lanes.
Yep. And we used every one of them but 1 and 2.
Correct. We used 46 of the 48 lanes. It was perfect. It was 3 on every pair. We didn't have to go to 4 on a pair or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come back here for the Minnesota Masters. I expect more entries.
Yeah, that's a college kids are home type.
Yes.
Area
Right. Yeah.
of the
exactly.
month.
Yeah. Well, they're home now too, like Zach Andreessen bowled, and
Yep. Yeah.
but there were some people that were gone bowling like Alex and St. Cloud tournaments today.
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't know if they would
Yeah.
bowl the Minnesota Masters. Well, I don't know what else is scheduled for January 20th. I don't think anything. So they should be coming here to bowl. I know I'm bowling, and on the 26th of January, I'm leaving for Punta Cana for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
For fun in the sun, as they say. 2 weeks. I haven't had a 2-week vacation since. I did take 3 weeks when I went to Africa about 5 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
As long as you don't spill them.
do not spill. Get it away from the cameras. That's all we need. So 1 shot each, 1 on each.
1 on each. Yep.
And Kehoe gets a choice. All day long he's had the choice.
Yeah. Well, when you're up there on the high perch.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
When you finish first in qualifying, you can't. There's no one other higher.
No, nobody any higher. No, You could defer.
You could defer, but you don't get the ball at half.
No, you know what's kind of funny? When did this start happening, this defer? I mean, years ago, you won a toss, you just received the ball. There was no choice, no nothing. Every once in a while, somebody did, probably the Vikings with Bud Grant, and if the wind was blowing at Met Stadium the wrong way, you might do it once in a while, but you just never really heard of it. That was an odd thing. Now, it's everybody defers.
Yeah.
So, why is that?
Yeah, I mean, part of the thoughts are like you want to try to double dip. So like you score right before half, you get the ball back, and you can score again.
Were they just not that smart back then? Because that seems like a pretty good thing to do. Maybe just nobody wanted to do it. Hey, basketball, I mean, they always had the tip, right?
Yeah.
And so whoever just got the tip, you didn't no, I don't want it now.
Right.
So you didn't throw it to the other guy. That's a turnover then. Baseball, obviously, home team just is always the bottom of it.
Yeah.
You don't flip a coin there. Hockey has a face-off.
Yep.
Same thing. No, they have face-off in every period, though, don't they?
Yes.
Because it's 3 periods, so you can't just
Yep.
you can't just give each one and then flip a coin for a third.
Right.
So, let's come up with some new rules. All right, I think they're done practicing. They both get their 1 shot. See what Kehoe's going to do this
what
time.
They're doing here.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they're smart.
Okay, Kehoe says you start the match.
Going off of just practice, Jace has looked pretty good. His
Okay,
ball reaction looked pretty good, but you turn the lights on and it changes.
Oh,
See?
like Tom Havlis wins that shadow ball tournament all the time
Right.
in their Florida's Fun League,
Easy to strike when they're
Yeah.
when they're not live.
Exactly. He always says there's a shadow ball tournament in Chicago. He should go to it sometime. We'll find out how Jay says. Like I mentioned,
stay
he's
over there.
posting.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's like a. He's been posting every shot, whatever, and he rolls the ball off his hand, and it doesn't hook early. So that obviously helps. He doesn't seem to have to throw it really hard.
Right.
And then, of course, chop the first frame. So. Yeah, John Holmes would have killed this shot.
Oh, he would have.
Oh, man, you'd have played right up that first arrow.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, a little loft.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's not even a blue hammer.
No, it isn't. It's reactive.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that. You know what it is? It must be an old one. Oh, we got the results, even though we kind of know.
We
the
kind of know
results,
them. Well, they're in front of us.
So, yeah. It'll be 9 and 10 for Jake Green, bowling the winner of this match, and then we're probably going to like 7, 8, and maybe 5, 6 or something like that, or 11 and 12. I don't know.
Does it say it on it?
It'll be 9 and 10.
Okay. And then if there's another
No, it
one,
doesn't.
solid double by Keel.
Yeah.
So, when your opponent opens the first frame, that's the absolute best thing you can do is go up there and get 2 strikes.
Oh, yeah.
And put that guy in the hole by like 30 pins, it seems like right away.
Yep.
Or I guess 20
Horrible
pins.
feeling when you chop it and the guy strikes double up on
Yeah, exactly.
you. But he threw a great shot.
He did. Okay, so I was talking about this earlier with Jason. Normally it seems like when we're bowling in tournaments where you got to play a little bit deeper, the left lane hooks more than the right lane because you can get left.
Deeper, yeah.
Well, now you have to play way out. Did the right lane hook more than the left lane because more people were further right on the right lane? I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it either.
But I'm wondering now, at this point in the match, or in the day, I mean.
Yeah.
Because people are really like lofting it a lot on the right
Oh
lane.
boy.
Okay, well, maybe the left lane hooks too. Well, if you set it down short, it's going to hook. We know that. Jake Green has 4.5 games on the practice pair right now.
He's trying to beat Havlich in
exactly.
Shadow Ball Championship.
Yeah. But yet he keeps pushing the button on the spare shots. I might go down and talk to him and tell him to practice. Like, no, I'm kidding. Just kidding. He knows.
I'm trying to see what Keogh's throwing. He's so quick. I can't see it.
I think he'll loft it a little bit. Probably hit about, 12 or so is he going to hit?
Yeah.
Based on where he's standing, I'm thinking. No, about 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Should have hit closer to 10. He might have been higher. Yeah. I mean, that half pocket, we talked about earlier, the half pocket is no good. He'd be higher or low or lighter. And Brandon, when he bowled in one match on here against Jake, or against whoever he was bowling against, yeah, with Jake, he went like strike, spare, and then that was a solid one. Everything else was light. Everything, yeah, he kind of backs it up on his 10 pin. But then everything was kind of light. He kept carrying that 7 pin, and then he got a little high for leave something, trip something out. But you got it. If you carry those light ones, you got like a lot of room.
Yeah. What's Keogh throwing? It looks like a storm ball with a triangle on it. And it'll still hook.
So that one he lofted and had it going right.
Yep.
Never picked up the roll.
Tour Dynamics is what we're thinking that Keogh's throwing right now.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can be confirmed.
Can be confirmed. Clayton has confirmed it for us. So if it's wrong, it's Clayton's problem.
Don't use me as your
Low differential.
Stop! You're not supposed to reveal your sources.
Oh, sorry. Wasn't Clayton.
The Tour Dynamics, definitely a ball.
Gets it out of the back.
Kehoe.
That ball was designed obviously with the name Tour in it, and it for the Tour guys. So it is a low differential ball. It's an ASIM, but it is a very low diff. So it is meant to not flare that much, meant to be very controllable for the higher rev rate player. So that makes a lot of sense too. Using it in this.
Oh boy,
scenario.
that's got to peel. Yeah.
Oh, that started up and then kind of rolled out. A Tour Dynamics. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Really?
No, I don't
I've
think
heard
so.
of it.
There are so many bowling
I'm not
balls.
a tour player. I can't throw it.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Well, I have one, so they're not just for tour players.
Oh.
We can say
Oh
that.
crap!
Well, we can call our bowling touring. We tour a little.
We tour
Sure.
around.
Tour of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, stay in the lane.
Oh, he got it. Oh. Okay.
Score correctional.
How's Jace's game going here now? He chops that first frame. That one he missed, which he's been really, really good on all those. And then Keel kicks one out of the back would pick up the washout, and now he's down by a lot.
Yeah.
But okay, regroup right here, Jace. Come on, you're just like you did all day today. You throw this ball in the pocket and get yourself back set. You'll be good. Match ain't over.
No, it's early. Very early. Things can change.
Speaking of early, that's how that hooked.
Yeah. Yep. That is correct.
That did. Yeah,
Weird.
So
I would have never guessed.
he's bowling like I did. Hooked early, go high, get it down lane, doesn't do anything. Chop a spare. That's why I'm back here. I did it all day. He did it doing it in 5 frames. No, I had my high game, game 8. Finally hooked enough for me.
We dried them out enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh, tip over.
Oh! Okay, that was the break you needed.
Yep. Now it's go.
Go
now
time.
we go.
Well, so it's where Kehoe wants to obviously put some, get a couple strikes, put some pressure back on him. But if he doesn't, then Jace goes, oh, I got a little bit of a chance. So, he's not
Yep.
striking her. So
I'm gonna say that looked in.
hey, that because of the no flare, it didn't hook high enough.
Yeah.
And almost tripped it. Well, tripped out the 4, obviously. You'll throw the back up at it, and you think you missed it.
Make
and
us think he missed it.
It scared you. Yeah. I know.
Well, now I know. That was great.
Exactly, yeah. Because I would have thought he missed it too, but I've seen him do that all day today. I think it might be about time for one of my favorite beverages. After this match, I might have to mosey on up to a bar somewhere. Well, late enough in the afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Vikings game.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
okay. He did that last frame, last time
Yeah.
on that lane.
Running down the fun way? Running down the fun way, Keel.
The fun way.
I would assume that's the bounce it out of the pit
Yeah,
fun
exactly.
way.
Well, he's going to stand left and throw his back up at it, right?
He's going to take the head pin off the wall and get it.
And get all 3 of the red. Perfect.
Okay,
The
well.
ball's going to take 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. Uh-oh.
Never mind, he's throwing back to that.
Oh,
Oh. Okay, well, that was the break. That was the opening that you give Jason.
right, yeah, now he's going to go. It's go time.
Now, what he needs to do is put the pressure back on Keogh and go strike, strike. Looks like he's changing bowling balls.
I think he uses a thumb that he puts in the plastic and versus. I think he's throwing the same ball.
Same ball. Okay. He uses the same thumb for spare.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I don't either because it takes too long to deal with that.
Exactly. And mine are really, I can't. I mean, there might be a hair different on them. I just don't do it.
Wonder
Oh,
if he
that looks
moved.
pretty good. Until
Oh,
it
boy.
started.
Oh,
hooking.
he tripped it.
Yeah.
Not his fault.
No,
Nope.
and I feel like he's in the area where I was, where he feels like he needs to move, but if he moves, he doesn't think it's going to get there.
I could totally relate to that.
But just sitting there the whole time going, I'm going to move, I'm going to move, I'm going to move, and then you get up there and you're like,
chicken
I
out.
can't.
You kind of chicken out, right?
Yep.
See, that's you got to do. You got to be committed. You got to do it with conviction. And come on, Jay, somehow get a double here. Put that pressure back on Kehoe.
See, he's further in on that lane.
That was
Hey, that
solid.
was a move, too. I mean, you're right, he's further in, but I think he just moved in a little more, too, from just the last shot.
Okay, now that's what you do.
Yeah.
I like it. Come on, we got a 2-pin match right now.
Yeah.
That's part of the 2 6-count spares that Kehoe left. Also, bad count.
That was a pretty
Yeah,
good
look.
shot.
I might try that again, bud.
I thought that he might not have been nice enough to that one.
Oh, yeah?
Looked a little grabby, I thought, from back here, but
We'll see what he does in the left lane, though. 2 washouts in a row in the left lane.
And
think
both
he's
of them
gonna
been
do?
misses right. Like, it wasn't like he threw through
correct.
it, it's just missed right.
So, what do you think he's going to do?
Well, I'm hoping that all he does is make a better shot, but I guess we'll see. Because I don't know that he needs to move, because he doesn't actually even know
Yeah,
at this
okay.
point. So that's pretty deep. That was pretty good. That was no longer 5 right of that.
It didn't. Right, he didn't throw it left or right. He threw it straight up.
Yep.
How'd you know to throw it there? How did you know to throw that ball there after those last 2 shots on that lane? Oh, he got some advice from the peanut gallery.
Don't drop your source, but Clayton said to throw it there.
Okay, all right. Well, that was a good move.
I told him, like, just don't loft it as far down the lane.
Okay, Jay
Hey,
says,
listen.
take that.
He did, and it,
We have ourselves a match.
All right, well,
Okay, well, this is the all-important 9th frame.
it is.
Give yourself
Foundation
a chance.
what,
frame.
yeah, I was just
yeah.
going to say, what do they call it? The foundation frame.
The Nelson Burton Jr. Foundation frame.
Yes. Well, he coined that phrase, I guess. Unless somebody did before him, but he's the only guy I remember saying that. Or the first guy I remember saying that. I like really
Oh, boy,
good.
get down there.
That was
That-
a really good shot.
Really, really good.
God, dude.
Well, they both strike out. Kehoe wins by 2.
Right.
So
We have the possibility of a tie.
whatever Kehoe does, Jace has
Thanks
to do
for
a little bit better.
If he goes gutter 3, we have a possibility for a tie. Chris, I don't think he's going to gutter 3 here.
He'll get more than 3.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
That's what he did last time. So obviously that's what his intent was on
Yeah?
that right lane. I thought he got too much of it in the 7th over there, but that was the exact same shot.
Well, he threw the last one on this lane really, really good after those back-to-back washouts. We'll see if he can duplicate that. Anything he does is forcing Jace to get the same or better.
Yep. Oh. That checked early.
Wow.
And he got away with it. But that checked.
That could have been 4 or 5
Yeah.
or 7 or 8
But
or
10 happened.
10 happened. Wow.
But here we are.
Yep.
Somebody said that can Kehoe get any luckier? And yes, he can.
Answer, yes.
Because that's when he picked up that washout on the back.
Kehoe said, hold my beer.
Right.
Right, yeah. Okay, so he didn't loft it as much, but got it in.
Right.
I would go to the more loft.
Yep.
Oh, it did
that
the
was
same.
in.
Yep. I was going to say that was the same thing. Just not as
Okay,
violent.
Jace is going, all right, I got a chance. All you can ask for is a chance.
That's right.
Yeah. But he needs the first 2, right? Doesn't he have
Correct.
to double?
Because of the pin count, too. If he
Right.
would have got like 6, he wouldn't have needed it. But he's got a chance. You get all you want
That's what you want.
in the 10th frame with a chance to win.
Right.
Ball in hand or whatever. course, just think if he wouldn't miss that single pin, it wouldn't have chopped
Yeah.
that spare.
Right.
So who bowled the better game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, threw that hard.
Go.
Oh. I'm not sure. I didn't watch all the speed, how hard. That looked like a little bit harder. I know you want to get down the lane, but
And you said it too. He's posting everything, and that was not a posted shot.
Exactly. Well, he had a chance. He had an opportunity. He'll be back here. I was talking about it. He wishes he could bowl more, but with kids and stuff, you know how it is.
Oh,
He gets
yeah.
a little too busy. He can't always do that. But he does well in all these Masters tournaments when he bowls. And like I said, he bowls
Flaherty's
Fun Shot, and he's first or second in average, whatever, up there. And about 206, good tournament. Fourth place, CBA Masters. Not bad, not bad.
No.
Are you ready for a beverage?
Sure.
Are they going to 9 and 10? I guess I could look at
I
it.
did the modification.
Is it over
So I
there?
think
I am, but I don't remember what I was having. So, would you have Furious? Yeah. Whatever. I'll drink it. They are important. I looked into it, and they are very important.
yeah, 9 and 10 there, Kehoe.
No, good bowling today.
One on each one.
So one shot each lane. And we're trying to figure out what's going on. Kehoe left. He's done. No, I don't know where he went. Thanks for showing up today, Brent. Everybody was asking about you. We have a little intermission, or are we having like a... I mean, I flipped the cameras and everything. Everybody leave.
And
Had a match
there
and everybody
they
took
come.
off.
Think. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One on each.
One on each.
And then arm wrestle to see who goes first.
Yeah. I'm going to say Kehoe will get the choice. Since the qualifying leader is still alive.
Right.
Yeah. We'll assume he's going to get that choice.
Well, Kehoe took his shoes off. Apparently, he must have thought something else was happening.
Well, that's an Asian thing. You just didn't know it.
Oh,
He had
to
to
go
run
from
in.
pair to pair, you got to take your
pair to
shoes
pair,
off.
you gotta take shoes off.
He
You're
had
walking
to-
into a different house. It's a different
Oh,
dojo.
fair enough.
He had to go turn scores in. He didn't want to get sticky.
Turn
walking.
scores in. Ah.
And he has to wind them up like a bait caster. Hey, Payne,
Yeah.
are you short on beer?
I am, but I think Tom is... I mean, if you wait long enough, I'll get another one.
I'm not waiting. Like, I'll have another, but I might have two between your two. One.
It's fair enough. It's
I
stadium
know,
beer
ask
night.
Jason. Last time I drank at his place, I got in trouble.
Not by me.
Nope, not by anybody.
No.
But I had a lot of fun. I'm not afraid to have fun in that building.
Yeah.
I can't wait until we're bowling in your building in February. I should
Oh, is that the
probably
Oh,
the Nev thing, right?
Yeah,
Or
we
the-
have the Southway Bowl Open,
like that.
followed by the
Wait,
Yep.
there's a Southway Bowl open?
the St. Cloud Palooza weekend. It's being touted as.
Oh.
The 9th would be the Southway Bowl Open. That's Nevin Brady is running it with Brandon Hasley.
Is that the
And that's one of the
the
quadruple
quadruple?
crowns. Yep.
Oh, all right.
Is that just a one-day event?
That
Yeah.
is. But then on Sunday, Ryan Schleicher's Central Minnesota Brunswick Sweeper
Well,
Tour
I'll roll that. 'Cause fuck that.
is that's all the same weekend.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
Well,
Mostly because I'll
St.
have a headache.
Cloud Palooza.
Cloudapalooza, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Nope,
probably
they
be
don't
there.
have
I'll be there Saturday. I don't know about Sunday.
Well, you got to be there Saturday.
I will be there Saturday.
84 max.
I'll be there Saturday.
7 on the pair.
7 on a pair. Why so few?
There's only 12 pairs in there.
Hey, that looks as cloudy as the one I had before.
All right. This is hard to do. I gave you 3 different glasses so you know what the food. I had to drink out of this one because I was spilling it, so. They're all the same.
All right.
But you know what he said? He goes, they're all the same. He goes, just give me 3 different ones. He goes, I'm assuming you're not drinking all 3 so you know whose glasses.
All right, we're starting the match. Jake Green gets to start. Kehoe gave him that option. Wait, he didn't give him that option. He told him he had to do it.
Exactly. So this is what you're doing.
Yep.
You're starting the match.
We have what I called all day long a good 2-pin. Because normally there was something.
Good 2-pin?
Yeah, it was
Yes.
a good 2-pin. Because
Yes.
normally it's a 2-10, 2-8-10,
2-4-8-10.
2-4-8-10, 2-4-5,
2-4-5-8.
248 by itself.
Yep. And he spared it.
Good solid spare, too.
Must have shot in one of those before.
Unfortunately, he missed a couple of those left side spares his last match
Pesky
there.
left side spares, right?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of pesky left side spares.
I'd much rather shoot 6, 10 pin, 3 pin rather than a 2, 4, and 7.
Yes.
And which is really kind of odd. I mean, a lot of right-handers will
Oh,
say
no.
the same thing.
Well, we talked about this, right? If there's a frame to do something
Yes.
like this, and it's this one.
Correct. I haven't seen the 710 picked up for a long time.
Well, stay tuned.
I might be waiting longer. Or so Clayton likes to get foggy beside cloud.
Yeah,
right here.
so that's a loose line. They have a foggy bottom.
Foggy. I have
Yep.
some of that in my refrigerator at home.
It's very good
I,
stuff.
I think I have 1 can left.
That's some good stuff.
It's very good
Because
stuff.
Brent gave me one at the team challenge last week, and he also gave some beer to Molly Novak, and Molly didn't like the foggy bottom, so she gave me that can. But I said I got a couple of some raspberry, whatever kind it is, that I'm going to give to her that I don't
Whoops.
like. So anyway, so I kind of traded her.
Yeah.
She's not here today. This is the Jace King washout, we call this now.
Oh, yeah.
That's Chase King's Memorial Wash.
Yeah. 3 of them, 1
Oh, he
game.
is still here.
Oh,
Maybe
he's
he
still
can
here.
talk to him about how you picked that up.
You can ask him how he got the 1-6.
Yeah, I
yeah.
watched it. I said I had to look at it twice and I go, "Did you just do that?" And he goes, "Yeah." Okay, the
Oh, a
backup.
little backup at it.
1. Oh,
That could have
looked
been
like
1. So starting out the match, open. What does that do for you as his opponent?
Oh, well, opponent should be loose. I should loosen up a little bit. As the guy that's done that in the past, it tightens me up.
You've done that.
Crap, now I gotta figure this out.
That's when you start thinking of putting your throat on his neck, or your neck, or your foot on. Hold
Easy
on.
for you to say.
It's gotta be your
Foot on
throat.
the throat.
Foot on his throat. Holy buckets.
No, it's a hard saying.
Not really. I don't know.
All
There you
right,
go.
Jake.
Just like
And he
that.
did.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to spit out.
Speaking
right
of
there.
bowling very well in the Flaherty's Fun Shot League, Jake Green.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's probably right up there with Jace as far as first and second place in average. Oh, it's only because Lumpy doesn't bowl in the league. But other than that,
Who's the smart one?
yeah, yeah.
Right.
I think he just had 260 won last game pot again last Friday, Jake.
Oh yeah.
He had 300 or 299 a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if you had a 300 or not because I told him you haven't had a 300 since you've been married. It's only been 299 a day after or a week after, I mean. Oh, so he moved out further.
It
Wow.
works
Yeah.
well.
Maybe a little more speed too, but that's a really good look.
It is.
That's
He bowled 4.5 games on the practice pair, so we figured he
Right.
figured out something.
yeah.
And he's the shadow ball champion, so he's got that title.
Yeah,
Now he's
exactly.
working on another one.
He wants another chance at Brandon. I know
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Just because he gave it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems to always happen.
Well, that's
You open,
It's-
and then you throw a good one and you get 10 pin.
well that too. But also, I guess like with, and I don't want this to come out wrong, but like with Keogh's game, or at least his attack right now, you kind of feel like it's only a matter of time before. I mean, it's been a dead 7-10, a washout that didn't react, now a dead 10.
Yeah.
You know, he's using balls that definitely keep it in front of him, keep it in play. They don't finish strong. That
Yeah.
means they also sometimes aren't going to carry when you catch a pair that's lazy down lane or whatever. You just kind of feel like the time is numbered when you can continue to attack it this way, or when you got to choose a different line or attack method.
Good point, because you can't just stay there all day when you're not
Yeah.
striking your opponent strike. You
Right.
have to make some move in the fourth, fifth framer for sure.
He got around that one a little more.
He did circle a little more on that one.
And
Left to the 7.
Soft 7.
Yeah.
So a 7-10, a 10, a 7, and a washout. Something is telling me that my reaction isn't very good. And I don't even know if a trick of the hand is what is going to be,
right.
the answer.
Yes, it could be. Here it could be a bowling ball for sure. Change.
Yeah. And before it gets out of control. As somebody who recently let it definitely get out of control and get away from them, I mean, that 130 game is something that's easy to have pop up and happen in this scenario when your reaction is just gone.
Somebody's talking about that at the Lacrosse Open.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody in the booth here with you and me, Matt.
Yeah. I may have been crossing with him. I'm not
He
sure.
might have been on my pair.
I might have been watching when I just got there.
Front row.
Oh yeah, I had a front row seat.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on a little. Yeah.
It's much faster.
Yep. He's picked up some speed. He moved out, picked up some speed.
That's some heavy roll too.
And, yeah.
No, it's a TNT.
It is a TNT. Yep.
And he seems more up the back of it.
Yes, that's what I mean by the heavy roll there.
Yeah.
And he's not exactly, he's picked up the speed. He's not exactly being nice to it. He's getting on it a bit. But the roll is definitely a little more end over end.
Yep.
Got to be the
Speed
haircut.
speed
Could
is
be the
up.
haircut.
He's much more aerodynamic.
Showed up at the team challenge last week, and Gary, his dad, didn't even recognize him. Well, he got all of that.
Yeah, and he
Yes,
lofted
yeah.
the hair too.
I thought he got all of that.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Matt. He lofted it, and then he got it a little right.
Yeah, it wasn't going up at the bottom.
Right.
He missed it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Can he miss it at the top?
No. Well, this is picked up many ways. We watched Keogh pick it up one way.
Yeah. I would go make sure I get the 3 pins.
Right.
Make sure you get the 3 pins though.
There's one.
Make sure that's how it's
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Gary never would have taught him that way.
Yeah, well, that was a big spare.
Yeah, oh, absolutely big spare. I was
Big
thinking
spare.
3 would have been good just because he's on the turkey going in there, and that would give away any other pin count.
Yeah.
And a spare is even just blessing.
Yep.
No, icing. No,
See?
Something.
Those statements.
frosting.
Yeah.
Frosting.
Frosting
That's-
on the cake?
That's what I was going to say.
Ah. Oh, he went further right.
Yeah.
Oh, and a trip 4. Oh, lazy though.
Well, yeah.
That's not going to get you a lot of strikes.
Special, by the way.
They don't.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's still falling.
Yeah, they're scared of them.
That's
Well,
a
it
heck of a
swept the
strike.
pins off, but it didn't actually sweep that one off, and it left it on the deck, so then
Uh-oh.
It dropped it. run down there and grab it. You're used to it.
Just throw your ball at it and hit it.
Just we're supposed to clear our own deadwood.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's not distracting, just bowl.
Like we said, after the 8, all you got to do is get in and then it's fair game. Everybody's got
Or
to play
Rocky.
zero.
You had a chance there.
Like Rocky could say to somebody on 52 right now, and he'd be like, can't Bears are important.
While we have this break, Steve, no one asked you. He's still in the top 3 of average. Doesn't matter.
I'm just
Tom said it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be a rule.
I just thought he did because he bowled so well. I just assumed he was up there. Steve, all I know is I'm not in the top 3.
Nor is Steve, so I don't know why he's.
I go, okay, here's my last 2 weeks there. I'll give me the last 3 weeks. 4 weeks. The last 4 weeks of Boulder. 584, 555, 689, 572. So it was really weird about that whole thing there is, I don't know whatever pair we were on, I think it was like 19 and 20. And then we have a dollar clean pot thing, and it hadn't been won for like 4 or 5 weeks. I'm clean with that 280. I split $67. 3 of us got $67 each. And I'm going, wow, that's a lot of money. It's more money you win in a jackpot just by being clean. Then of course I went back to 572 last week.
Factoid.
What's the factoid? Would we? Yeah, I was locked in all right, Steve.
I'm assuming the 680 was when you were clean.
That's when I was clean, yeah. 572. Can you imagine being clean with 572?
Well, maybe.
Actually, I only had 4 open for the 572, just so you know. 5 splits, picked up 1 of them.
All right.
Picked up everything else.
All right. This is a big one.
Yes, this gets a little pressure back on your opponent.
Oh, get down the lane.
That
wasn't a good shot.
No. I think he kind of circled it and he was in.
That was poor effort.
Yeah.
He was in.
He probably should have just thrown it instead of waiting for that pin to get out of the way. He might have, like when he had the momentum going after the strike. Something to be said about that, but your eye is always looking at that pin.
Oh, yeah.
Does somebody come down and get that out of there? Well, I was going to say, I thought it was a 5 pin to start with. I'm going, what's he doing going left instead of 5 pin?
Didn't throw a backup ball at that.
Well, that's what I thought he was going to do, actually. All right, Jake, so it's just like, yeah, the last couple, or besides the washout. But
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe a little better than the 5th frame washout, but the ones before that were awful good.
Oh, I got you, Brent. Yep.
That was pretty good. Although it hooked, though. He must not. It did look a little slower, but it could have been because it hooked up front, too.
Could be.
But
Man, the second and the 4th frame were so solid.
Yeah.
And then what happened there? So he leaves
And
the
then-
washout on the
then-
left lane, so they think, okay, last one through 2, got it out 2 right. I'm not going to get it too far to the right. Even if it's on the other lane, still, he goes from washout to through the nose.
is that a good 368 or 369?
There is no,
No.
such thing as
No,
a good
This is-
369.
He's
All of them? All right,
Okay.
that's good.
Keogh would have thrown his back up, I think.
Yeah.
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 And I don't know how he picked that up because I certainly wouldn't have got that. So he's picking up some tough spares.
Yeah. So yeah, because the 5th frame was a washout. He picked that up, and then he left the 369 and picked it up. Yeah.
So, but he's only got 37 pin lead. Not insurmountable.
No. No, but Kehoe doesn't look very good right now.
No. And not only that, he's not bowling very well either.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
All right.
that is a good 6.
I'd almost have to think he's brushing up there.
Well,
Yeah.
that one definitely. I think
was
got a
out the
little
window.
fast feet on that.
Fast feet.
That was
Is that a
mile.
thing?
It was 1.2.
Oh, yeah. It
1.2 miles an hour faster than his last first shot
Okay.
in the right lane. So, proof is in the pudding.
In the pudding. All right.
Okay. This is a lesson in spare shooting.
Oh yeah. And I think we have discussed count on your spares
Yeah, exactly.
multiple times, and 676
Yeah.
is not
He
good.
just lost 10 pins in count
Right.
in 3 frames. But he filled them all. Just imagine if he didn't fill those.
right.
Bad little stretch.
But they do, like you said, they're filled.
Yes, sir.
They got the slashes
Yeah.
in the box there.
If he does that the rest of the way, he's going to be in the 190s or whatever, thereabouts. Okay.
Not done.
I'm not giving up, he says. Might be down by 33 pins, but I'm not giving up.
Yeah, but those 33 pins can get found quick.
Exactly. I started a game with 5 spare, 7 spare, 6 spare. Then I got a strike. Still only had 170 some, but
Another count game.
exactly. Right, yeah.
Get there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, those are 2 really, really good shots.
Yeah. When needed, he found it.
That he did.
You should say he didn't look good.
I did, and then he wasn't throwing the ball. I went on appearance.
Yeah, see, I try not to look at that.
No, his shirt's great looking. Bright
Sure
yellow.
looks good.
Loose line.
Yeah. Give a shout out to Brent Newman and Loose Line for all the sponsoring that he's doing with the bowling team that he sponsors and what he does here for the CBA and all that stuff. I really like it. Get on, one there, okay.
All right.
It was wobbling around
Speaking
there.
of, do we have a drawing for the loose line thing this month? I'm gonna talk this way.
Yeah.
All right.
Where is Brent, by the way? How come he didn't bowl?
I don't know.
Message. Said he wasn't going to bowl.
I mean, he was. He's not, he's watching, whatever, but I didn't ask him.
Oh boy, get there.
Oh no. You and I, Corby, had talked earlier about this. You know, single pins are they are a bit of a red flag for Jake.
And the left side spares, I've seen there's 3 left side spares in the last
Pesky
couple
left
of
side
matches.
spare. It's. I mean, we talk about all the time lack of concentration.
Just focus.
Yep. You assume it's a made spare and you don't even think about it. And it,
I think in his case, it's gotten to him because he's thinking about it. He's missed so many. He doesn't want to hook by it, so he doesn't know if he should try to like hook at it or throw it straight like that. And it's off his hand. He missed it right away. He knew it.
oh yeah. Oh boy, get down there. Oh.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah.
Glad I got that out of there.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, well, here's the situation.
217 max.
The 216 matches. We have the possibility of a tie.
Nelson, say it ain't so.
No, if Keogh could at least keep this one and the next one kind of, put a little more pressure back on Jake. This is a must right here. He's got to have this one.
Yeah. That's.
He's got some tricks in his release there that he can do. You know
He
that?
does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, more than I've really watched him. I haven't really watched him bowl a lot. But those last 3 shots are like he's a little bit different, and all 3 solid.
I think Brandon's giving Jake a run for his money in the shadow open.
Yeah, the shadow open on lane 13 and 14.
We're going to run the lineage report tonight and go, what happened on 13 and 14
Right.
today? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I did not think that was going to find its way there.
I don't either, but he got all of it. That's a different release than
But he
I've seen him
can't shut
throw
him out.
ever.
He can't shut him out, right?
Nope.
He can go
No.
at 216.
Yeah, it's
So
But
if he gets
that's
this next
a
one,
lot
he
of
forces
pressure to be
Jake to
put on
double.
you. Yeah.
I already forced Jake to have the first one.
Well, he's got to match him, right?
Yeah.
At this point. Great
This is
shot.
impressive.
wow.
This is really impressive, what he's done
Yeah.
this last half of this game.
You bet. Being lost through 6, basically.
Yes.
You know?
Because the one strike he got in the 5th frame was kind of a half light hit that wasn't very good. Somebody behind us is taking credit for what
Yeah,
what
he
Keogh's
always
doing
pays.
down
Yeah,
there.
What he's doing?
Yes, exactly.
Are these the loudest pin setters you've ever heard?
Yes.
Okay, I was just curious. I'm probably going to hear these tonight when I go to bed.
And ball returns clanking. Too.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh, Not your fault.
Okay, well that could make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But Jake must have 2 strikes and then throw a great shot and leave a dead 10 to win.
Right. Oh, Jake, hold on
Okay,
a second, buddy. Hold on.
Flush 2 and then
Hold
move
on.
left by 1.
I would re-rack the. There we go.
Let it do its thing. You don't have a clue what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That was a great shot.
You posted that one.
Yeah, you did.
You notice
That
he's got a
was-
locker guy shirt on too.
I
Did you
do.
notice that?
I saw
Did
that.
he steal that from someone?
Oh yeah, him and
Oh, it does say Jake on the back.
him and Ryan Bergman both showed up today with the locker guy shirts that I gave them to.
Oh, that's a great
Southway
shirt.
Bowl, of course.
Old
'cause-
school
North
Star
North
shirt.
Star.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Old school because you got new ones.
Yeah.
All right, Jake. Throw this one just like that last one, you'll strike.
Right.
And throw one just like the next one, you get a solid 10 and you win.
Right. It's as easy as that. And he did.
Oh, that's supposed to be the 12, not the 11.
That was.
Man,
That was a great shot.
what a good match.
We can go back to a really, really good match, but what can we go back to of why he lost this game?
That single pin
That
with.
single pin miss, and he missed it, and it gave him down a little bit, and it gave Keel a little bit of a
Yep.
little bit extra.
I can't read.
I believe 7 and 8, Brandon, or is it 11 and 12? Jason's got to come tell us. We don't really know. I don't want to say the wrong thing. 215, 206. Keyhole moving on.
It was a great match. Great match.
Jason, what pair?
It says on that sheet right there, I
Oh.
think it's 11 and 12.
I didn't want to say because I wasn't sure if you said that was right or not.
Take a look. I can't read. I'm illiterate.
Not that sheet, this sheet.
Look at. I tried. I couldn't figure. I couldn't figure out.
That's true too. Yeah.
Oh, here. I'll flip them over.
So we're going 11 and 12
We're
for
going
the match with
And we're
Brandon
there.
Cryer against Keo, and Keo's got to beat him twice. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's.
Because it is a double elimination.
We
and,
will go to 7,
7 and 8 after
8.
this.
Yep, if
Okay.
there is a need.
Keo is getting loose, as somebody says.
Yeah.
Not Brent.
You know what, Brent? Don't give this all to Clayton. Keo had to make those shots.
You know who we need here right now? PA, the announcer for the Vikings.
Yes.
And he's loose. How he says that.
Yes.
Speaking of the Vikings, aren't they on at 3
All
o'clock?
I got to hear is one time, and then I'm done. I don't need to hear him after
Yeah,
that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will say I used to listen a lot.
You watch the radio. Good.
I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to watch the radio a ton.
That's all we had, so we had to look at it.
No, but the PA, even dating back to the PA and Dubé show, that like I think he's a great talent and everything, but I think it's a lot of them. They got a shtick, and it's the only thing they got.
Correct, and I don't like it
just
either.
hammer it over and over
Oh, yeah.
again.
You know, I didn't care for the PA in Dubai. I used to listen to it once in a while. I got tired of it. I don't really care for PA. One guy I really don't care for is Common Man.
Common?
His
Yeah.
stick to me, he's playing to an audience and he has to get the people to listen. I understand what he's doing. I just don't really care for all the stuff that he has to say.
Yeah.
He knows nothing about baseball, but yet he's got to like badmouth all this and that. So he gets all the whole pocket protectors. When he came up with that freaking term.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I don't care for him at all. So I don't listen to him.
Yeah,
What I do
well-
like is Dan Barrero.
Tom, there are a lot of people that think they know a lot about baseball and
exactly.
talk like they know
Yeah,
a lot about
right.
baseball, but have literally no idea. And they tend to find themselves online and message boards
And I tend to comment on those
Yep.
guys sometimes
Yep.
too often, especially if I'm watching a Twins game and had a little bit to drink. And then I look back and I
it's
go,
weird how that works.
Gets lippy.
Right.
Yeah.
well, the stuff that
You
people
stopped at the rum bar?
Yeah, exactly.
The
Yeah,
home
right.
run
The
bar.
home run bar. Yeah. It's the stuff that people say. It's like, where do you hear this? First
Right.
of all, something, and then what I started to do now, looking at people on Facebook who comment. They're from like Arizona and somewhere
yeah.
else. They're not even from around here. And
Yeah.
now I'll say, how do you know? You're not even from around here. You didn't even go to a game. How do you even? Well, I'm not supporting them at all. Well, then they look. Well, of course you're not supporting them because you don't even live by here.
Right.
So then I want to tell them to shut up. But then I try to be nicer.
There are many a night back in the mnbowling.com.
Oh,
You're
the,
welcome, Tom Havlish. back in the bowling forum days.
The forum, yes.
Where
Oh, no.
I would have this. People at home can't see this, but this is at least 12 inches typed out of a statement, right? And then I just leave it. And then I'd get up the next morning and I'd reread it.
And then delete it.
And then delete the whole
Maybe I
thing.
was a little
Yeah.
too lippy, you know. So
Yes.
I always waited the next day before I'd actually
You know-
hit.
I do kind of miss the page, only because it was fun to listen or
To watch.
watch,
Yeah.
read, whatever of the random stuff that would get posted.
Honestly, I never wrote anything on that because I was the CBA tournament director, and I never wanted to get to say anything either
bet.
way.
Yep.
And I was obviously in bowling, so I didn't want to do that. All right, let's get back to this. We'll get back to this where Brandon.
Back to this.
Whatever. Brandon had a choice again. No, he did not have the choice.
No.
Keogh had the
Yeah,
choice.
Keogh had
Keogh had a
Brandon
choice.
start. He-
So
Yeah,
he's made
as
it
the
up.
number
This-
one seed, he
This is
didn't
1 and
relinquish
2.
the.
Yeah, that's right. These are 1 and 2 from the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine all that always
Been here
happens.
all day.
Yeah.
As they say.
All right, so Keogh says, Brandon, you started. He wanted a ball in hand. He wants to give the ball in hand to Brandon. You tried to beat me.
Yeah.
So, and he started out with a 7-pin, picked it up. We'll see what Keogh does. I got to say, I'm really impressed how he changed his hand position and how he's coming out of that ball to get that 4-5 bagger, and that one right there, that's very impressive.
Yeah. Once again, that wasn't Clayton. That's Kehoe changing hand positions. That's not Clayton.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as he's not around to hear me say that, it's not Clayton. So I had to beat Brady twice for the Twin Cities Masters this year.
That's
So
something to do.
I'm in the. This is the same position I was in.
That's a task.
It was a task because he already beat me once.
Well, nobody can beat you 3 times in one
Right,
day.
right.
Speaking of Brady, who would have thunk guy that his
Yeah.
talent in his games like 3, 4, 5 at about 450.
Yeah, yeah. That
So
was.
I talked to him after that, whatever. Yeah, he said everything was going left, right, this way, that way, and I go, well, yeah, that's what I'm doing. But so he didn't make it today, which is very unusual for him to not be in the top 16.
Yeah, that is very unusual.
Yes.
Which is funny because Chad made it, and he had his games ranged from like 197 to 205.
He said that because he lost to Rob Clements.
Yeah.
258 to 237.
Yeah, it was his high game in the day.
by 25 pins, he said.
Yeah.
We haven't taken a picture either, have you, of the top. So Jake's still here.
You have 3 of
And
5.
that's probably fine.
Yeah. I guess for this, it's usually
The top 2.
Top
But
2.
if Jake stays here, you should take a
we
picture
can take a third place too.
if he
Just by
wants to.
himself.
Yeah. Photoshop it in there. Okay, Keogh picking up that split. Even match. So that one didn't get out all the way to 2 board or whatever he's playing out there. So that's a half 7. And I didn't watch this. But a couple matches earlier, he was getting the ball right off the twig, and then it would come back light or flush. But that you get to see was going to be like half 7 all the way.
And he's
right
so
in front of
urethane.
us, he threw it in the dish. So
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously been out.
Yeah,
And he has thrown urethane
all day long. Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. I'm just wishing I could.
Stating facts.
I wish I could, and
I had a
Yeah.
purple hammer, used it about a handful of times, gave it to Todd Savoy. I don't know if he's used it or not
I was
yet.
just gonna say how many times this
I
time.
I don't know. I just gave it to him about a month ago. So I really don't know.
Well, he didn't use it in St. Cloud.
Nope, he did not.
We were there. We
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
see it.
Yep.
He probably used it.
Not there.
I think he's using it in league where he averages 230.
Oh,
Didn't use it in the team challenge either.
yeah, he didn't throw in the team challenge.
Maybe he should have.
Great shot, Keogh.
Wow, that's a. Okay, well, we still got an even match, but this now advantage Keogh because he's on the strike.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he can make it a not even match right here.
Exactly.
So he can take that 10-pin lead and build on it.
We've talked about this before too. When a guy's got to be beaten twice as the leader, do you want to jump on him, of course? But if you don't, well, I don't really care. I still got another match. Is that the backward way of thinking? Because you had to beat somebody twice.
Yeah.
You are going out more aggressive because you need to beat him.
Yeah.
The guy who doesn't need to be beat, does he not be as aggressive? I don't know.
I don't know. I just knew it was one match at a time, and I had to beat him this one to get to the next one. So
he's going.
Whether it's him or whether it's somebody else, I need to win this match to get to the next.
Right.
That 4-9 didn't really help.
No,
and his reaction is wash out 4-9 on that left lane so far, or baby split. I mean,
baby.
And 4-9.
Yeah.
So not exactly.
Do you shoot it?
Oh.
Not exactly what you like to see. Definitely a little more friction than maybe what he saw previous going into it, whatever. But the left lane's going to be a task for him.
Yeah.
And he just gave away a couple pins.
Brent just
I know
took
you
a
wanted to
rematch.
shoot for it because you think you pick up a 4-9, so you kind of shoot for it, but
It's one of those things. If you make it, it's
Yes.
you get that adrenaline.
And
Now
it is the fourth frame, so yeah.
at that point, it's probably not horrible to have to go after it.
Well,
but-
okay, let's go after it, but not too hard. Well, then you might as well be going after it
Right.
completely. Yeah.
Get the
And like you
7
said,
out?
not quite. No,
Not
seven's there.
Quite
Seven's there.
out to the gutter.
I'm watching the
Me
whole
too.
thing. I wasn't even.
We have a 32-inch monitor in front of us.
right in front of us. I'm
we're
staring
watching
over
the
at an
lane.
And
angle.
Matt can't see 4 lanes away.
Yeah, I
The
can't.
lane 3 beer right.
Yeah.
That's got to be that Bronco sweatshirt.
It must be the Broncos.
Like
My eyesight, one of
Mile
them.
High Stadium type.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Looking at it, watching the ball, the ball return area on 12 there that I can't see.
Right, yeah.
I can hear that one. He got it.
Exactly.
Oh wait, it's on the
It's on the screen, too. But you can see it before you see it there.
Right.
You can hear it before you see it. Because sound travels faster than eyesight.
Then light.
And then eyesight.
eyesight.
Yes, let's go. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
If there's any scientists out there, go ahead and let us know.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, in the
Correct
bowling
us.
community.
Yeah.
We got any scientists?
Do we have any in the bowling community,
Well, I'm sure we do.
Pat
Yeah.
Hub does a chemist. That's
Is that what he
that's
is?
a scientist.
Who?
Pat Hub does.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah. He treats the water in Mankato.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I didn't
that
know what
one
he did.
definitely. So on 12, you had mentioned he doesn't get it out
To the ditch.
to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
spot, and he's left 2 dead sevens
Correct.
there. You know. So here he does get it out. I don't know if he got firm or if he has just a little too much angle to the spot. Yes, sir. But obviously doesn't get there. Yeah, and he's
befuddled.
pointing. Yep, he's pointing and talking.
Yeah.
So he's seeing something quite different between the left lane and the right lane
We
there.
call that being befuddled. That get it out here, it goes there, get there, it goes this way. So doesn't mean he's not going to figure it out before the game's over or
for
whatever.
sure.
But
For sure. But we are right back into a match. I mean,
Correct.
we could be within just a pin.
basically
here.
tied. Got a possibility of a tie
Yeah, again.
in the 5th frame.
Apparently Chambers is a chemist.
Really?
Oh, really?
Dan Chambers. Yeah,
Oh, there
Brent,
you go.
Brent put it on there. I'm gonna believe you, but I don't want
What
to.
does he mix up the loose line beer?
Yeah.
What's he putting in that stuff, Brent?
That's called a brewmaster,
Right.
That chemist.
Chemist. Like Breaking Bad type chemist, Brent,
Yeah,
or is he? Is he in high school teaching kids? What? All right. Well, Keogh struck when he wanted to, when he needed to, when it was best. So
He's
this
a little
applies
trouble
to
on this
pressure.
lane, though. He's a little trouble
Yeah.
on this lane. 4-9 last time. So you should make a little adjustment off that 4-9. Oh,
It's got to go.
yeah. So, you know, the
See,
4-9.
this is what I saw all match play right here.
This is what I saw all day.
And what's funny is they're both seeing it on the left lane, and a lot of times if
Oh,
the left-hander sees it one way, the
Correct.
right-hander lots of times sees it
Sees it
different
different,
because
yeah.
topography is probably slanted. But I mean, they're both seeing this left lane as trash.
Yes. So, the 4.9, you only missed by a little bit being high. And
Well,
so
at least you got two.
makes it a little adjustment up a 4.9 that was like, I don't know, what, 2 boards high?
Yeah.
To miss like about 6 boards light. Right. I mean, and he probably didn't miss that much at the arrows.
Right.
So,
But yeah, his look is baby split 4.9 and now washout.
Yeah.
well, the Brandons just leave 7 pins and pick them up, and he's going to win.
And at this point, it looks like he could. That was also even in more. Is that both of them? Oh no.
No, just
Yeah,
10
we're
pins.
both still looking over there
I made the quick glance back to see.
because I did the same thing. I was like, oh, is the 7 up there? Could look right in front of me at the screen.
It's a good thing that there's only 100 people watching and not 300 people watching us in the booth here.
Yeah.
There's a packed house here at Southtown Bowl.
Southway Bowl,
Bloomington.
Southtown Lanes, Minnesota,
Yeah.
Bloomington, St. Cloud.
Oh, he hooks at it. He does the system.
Yeah.
At least on that
You won't catch me doing that.
We have a guy in our
You
team,
won't catch him.
Todd Savoy, who always does the system and will never use a spare ball on left side spares because he thinks that's the wrong thing to do. And I go, well, I can miss them either one, whatever.
Right.
But I'm better off with my spare ball at it because if I hit my target, I got the spare.
Yeah.
I never know throwing cross lane if I'm going to hit oil or dry. It's either going to if I'm using my strike ball. So
Yep.
everybody has their own way of doing it. Whatever's right for this person might not be right
better
for
shot.
them.
I would say much better shot on the tough lane there.
Seemed firmer too.
Yeah, I think he took a little angle out and
Yeah.
squared up, firmed up.
Very possible. So, well, 13 pin lead in the 6th frame. Got that all important strike up there also.
Keogh's got the red dauber out, and he's playing bingo on the left lane.
Yep, he is.
And he's not winning.
That's
over
the
there.
worst.
Yes, it is.
And that right lane's easy.
And he chose to finish on the left lane.
Right.
Yeah.
So that leads me to wonder, he just didn't really think about what lane he liked better, or just wanted it to be done first?
Right. Yeah. Or through practice, he thought the left lane was
very
actually
possible.
easier. And he thought,
But
I can make the left
He's
lane.
had the choice all day and never finished on the right lane.
Right.
So it leads me to believe that he just wants to get done first. And,
Yeah, it's one of those things. I haven't had that.
Yeah,
I haven't done it this way all day. Why would I change now?
correct. Superstition comes in play with
Oh,
us bowlers,
yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, Keogh, what do you think right there?
Same
boy.
same with baseball players. They're
Oh,
superstitious.
more than anybody.
Wear the same socks for 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Don't step on the line as you come there. Make sure you step on second base when you're running out to center field.
Yeah.
People do that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I actually heard something about that. Let's get back to this. First of all, that was typical
It's
a
there it
move
is.
from being
Well,
light
going
and
light,
high or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. I just heard something where people who are coming off the field and people are going onto the field in between innings. And if you come in and you touch first base before the guy goes out there and touches it, the guy doesn't like it. It affects him, so he's got to go back and touch first base even after you go out there. Somebody just say, "I did it last," so I don't know,
Wow.
something
Yeah.
like that. Anyway, this match is going to be about over.
Yeah, this
Yeah, that
ain't good.
was-
This ain't
that-
looking good, but it's
The left lane has absolutely just snake bitten Keogh. He's 4 splits, 4
Yep.
opens on that lane.
Well,
So
three opens.
that's-
He picked up 1 split.
You're right. Sorry. Yeah. Well, 4 splits, 3 opens. Yep. But that lane
it's only on the left.
Yeah. That lane has been his demise. He's struck every time on the right.
and he has to finish on it.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Brandon strikes here, it's going to be over.
Yeah.
Right.
You honestly feel even if he just goes with the dead 7 spare.
Well, there
And
is
that's
that.
what he-
I mean, well,
Yeah.
it's what he had been doing there, and but that's even going to be enough to cruise.
Yes. Well,
Just the big part, get the spare. That's all. Not
Well, yeah.
Yep.
well, the best Keogh can have is 180,
Right.
and well, Brandon's at 185 pace. I guess it's not over.
No, it isn't. And he does have to throw a shot on that stinky
Yes.
left lane.
So but it's easier picking up single pins than it is to pick up washouts and splits.
Well, yeah.
So the bad pin count and the splits and washouts really hurt Keogh on that left lane.
What did he say?
He'll get it after.
Oh, the deadwood.
Yeah, the deadwood. He'll go ahead and throw his frame here, and then he'll clear that deadwood.
And it's up to him because it's his deadwood, and it's not going to bother him. He wants to keep going and throwing the ball instead of, and that's okay. That keeps his rhythm going.
Yep.
I probably would have done the same thing.
Oh, he didn't get it to the right, or to the left, I should say. And he conquered the left lane,
Yep.
and that's
And he's still young enough to be jumping around on. Oh, I saw another guy jumping around on the lane that I thought was like too old to do that. Matt Payne guy.
What?
Well, I don't know. He took a second step
Was
and
it
he
actually
tripped over.
airborne?
Oh.
No, he tripped over his
first
left
time in
foot.
about 10 years I've actually backed off on my walk up to the line.
Backed off. You just
Yep.
kept running and backed
I
off.
walked
you know.
over into Walther. I think I literally tripped myself in my first 2 steps, and I went, well, probably should stop. It was unreal. I told Walter after I got done, I go, I don't know that I've ever tripped myself
that's
twice in the first
Match
in-
over
in-
now.
Yeah.
Brandon
in my
Cryer
first
winner.
couple shots. It was.
Yeah.
I told him, yeah, once, I've tripped myself on my first step and been like, it's fine. And then I did it again, and I went, yeah, you better stop because this ain't good.
Yeah.
I go, if I would have kept going, I don't know if I would have been standing when we got done because I would have probably thrown it in the right ditch, fell over, and into his lane. So
Yeah.
it's probably good I stopped.
You know, okay, Brandon Cryer, I was just one, and I haven't really seen this. So he got a little emotional down there that he just won this tournament, and I've seen him win tournaments before, and he hasn't really gotten that way. So he must have really felt like this was something he really, really wanted to win.
Yeah.
Well, it's a paid entry. I mean, I don't know. We haven't talked about it much, but the winner does get a paid entry into the USBC Masters. So, I mean,
2025, right? The 2025 Masters?
well, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year's already.
Oh,
Well, it booked in 3 hours.
Correct. Full.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I will be at.
So,
Don't look at my score.
I'll watch. Where is it?
Vegas. It
Oh,
said Gold Coast.
Okay.
Gold Coast? I don't know. Gold something's in
Gold
the name.
Coast. Gold Coast, yeah.
so this one obviously had some importance. to
Yeah,
it,
that's
which
what
is
I'm
good.
saying.
That's
yeah.
good.
I mean, he bowled like it all day, like he wanted to win. But I've seen him do that, and he wins, and it's like, okay, great, whatever. But he had some emotion down there that, actually, in my opinion, it's really good to see
Yep.
because some people it comes harder for them than others. So
Yeah, there you go. Just that.
Dead
I
7.
said the dead seven spare look was gonna be enough
yeah,
on that
it
right
actually
lane.
was.
Yep.
1, 2,
Absolutely. Thank you. You too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for bowling.
5, 6. You only left 6 of those dead sevens.
Yeah. That's all he needed to.
Yeah. Which
Got what he needed.
exactly right. Yeah.
Flag it just for fun. I don't know
What
what
is
he
that?
yelled.
Redemption.
Oh, did he lose last year to someone? I guess I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't.
But that's what it was. Redemption.
Okay, I
So
didn't hear what he said. Is that
he
what
obviously had.
Oh, that's the bowling ball he's using? Solid?
No, it's a pink urethane.
Yeah, he must have.
I thought I don't know. I'm not smart enough to remember.
I could look it up, whatever. Either way,
Yeah.
congratulations, Brandon
Yeah,
Cryer,
absolutely.
winning
Yeah.
the CBA Masters
Great
tournament.
tournament.
Great tournament for him. Great tournament for Keogh also.
For sure.
Um,
Leading all the way, going all the way to the end. I mean,
That's-
that
well,
What else
Fine
could you
leader.
ask for other than to win it?
taking it to the championship, so that's a hell of a run.
all right, well, guys, another fun tournament.
Yeah,
Jason, you did a
thank you.
good job getting scores. Matt, you did a
Thanks.
good job getting some scores, too. I didn't do a good job getting scores, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a good event. January 14th, Park Grove, that's the next CBA, so join us online then, or in person.
Yeah, come on out.
Except for us seniors, we got a senior masters. Isn't it like the Twin Cities Senior Masters on January 6th or 7th, whatever that first Sunday in January is, at Sundance? Any guys over 50? Sorry.
Come on out to that.
So if you wanted to bowl, Jason, you could.
I might make my way to Eau Claire again if
That's on
the
Saturday.
good Lord willing. So
That's on Saturday.
that's both
When you
days,
don't make the
hopefully.
cut, you bowl Sunday.
I got some history there. I would
Okay.
like to think I'm
Yeah.
going to be there Sunday. but
Okay, all right. Well, good luck
We'll
with
see
that.
what happens. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not-
maybe Sunday I'll be back in the cities then.
that will be live streaming, like I said, January 14th from Park Grove.
Yep.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Have a
Thanks.
good night.